Alright, so to begin with, the way I look at jungle is you always want to be making a plan, right? You want to think 2 minutes ideally ahead. 1 minute is good. 30 seconds is great. Like, don't feel bad if you can't go all the way to 2 minutes. It's hard. It's hard. But the idea is you want to have at least a general direction in what you want to be playing for. And the way I like to do it, the way I was taught to as well, is you have simple steps. You begin with asking a question. So what I mean by this is you need to know what to think about, right? So it's not clear sometimes what you want to play for. Sometimes it can be really confusing what to do on the map. And all you need to do is ask yourself then, what am I playing for next? What's the next thing I want to play for? And you can get more detailed by asking yourself like, who is strong? Who is strong on my team? Like, what lane do I want to play for? What lane do I want to gank? Can I fight this objective? Like, is this an objective I want to play for? Even, like, am I close to my item? Or like, can I play for my item? These questions just give you a general direction on what to do next, and from there you can actually start playing the game of jungle. Because from there, you have an idea of what to think about. Now you can gather information. The thing about League, though, is there's so much variation game to game. So many things can change, right? Every single game, you can have a different champion on your team, different situation that happens, blue side, red side. So you're not going to have a very set in stone, like, I know what to play for every single game. No one plays like that. People ask questions to figure that out. Anyway, once you ask the right question, or a question, you get to a point where you need to gather information, right? Let's say, for example, I ask myself, can I play for my item, right? And then you gather information that's like, okay, you obviously you look at your gold, and you're like, okay, I'm 300 gold off my item, right? So you instantly gather that information, you process it, which is the next step. You process what that means, right? And you make a plan based off that. So I'll go through this process. You ask a question, hey, am I close to my item? You gather information, you see that you're 300 gold off, you process what that means as fast as you possibly can. That means that, hey, if you have your entire bot side up, you can go clear it and recall, and now you have a plan because you gather information, you processed it, you made a plan, and you could make very easy decisions. So, what it means by gathering information is every single point of the game, there's different pieces, there's different variables, right? So not only are you going to enter every game, different champions, different runes, different people building different items, like people can be, full stacking armor against you. It doesn't matter what it is. You need to gather that information. You need to hit the tab screen. You need to see what's going on the map, right? But you don't know where to begin. There's so much, and I don't blame you. There's so much going on in the game. So in order to gather the right pieces of information, you just ask a simple question. Once you go from there, you process what that means. So real quick, a quick example is, let's say I'm looking at this picture right here. I look at top wave, right? I look at mid wave, I look at bot wave. And I have to process what this means, and sometimes it takes longer for people to understand what this means, right? It's slow pushing into the enemy top laner, right? But some people don't see that as fast, and that's okay. But that's where processing speed comes in. I could look at this for 2 to 3 seconds, maybe even less, and know right away. Some people can't, and that's on you to learn what this wave state looks like, what position, or like what this position for your top laner means. What does your top laner need to do in the next 30 seconds to fix his top wave? He actually needs to play like this. He needs to step up all the way up here to fix his wave. His wave will be stuck right here if their top laner freezes it. And the best part about this is, if I was playing the game at all, I would see that, hey, my top laner got fucking dove. So he's in an even worse position, right? So if I don't interact with my top laner here, the game is fucked, right? So that tells me that, hey, I'll tell you guys, I was not focused on top lane here at all. I wanted to play for bot lane here. So I asked myself, how can I play this game to help my bot lane out? How can I play for Dragon? I've been on an objective, like, I love Dragon so much right now. I asked myself, how can I play for Dragon? So when I asked myself that, I looked top, maybe I skipped it. I looked bot as well. I looked top, I looked bot, I looked mid, I looked everywhere to figure out if I can do anything bot, if I can play towards bot. But then I realized, hey, there's something going on top where I can't I can't play for bot. It'll actually be perfect. My bot wave is slow pushing very slowly, right? I looked at this very quickly and I understand that, right? Or these guys can crash the wave and they'll still be slow pushing eventually, right? I instantly understand what this means for me. This means I'll have a timer to play for a dragon at 5 minutes. I can instantly pull a dragon, right? So that instantly triggers in my head. Okay, I can play for dragon very very easily. But then there's more information to gather. What's going on mid? What's going on top? And you can see me look at the lanes for a while to understand what's going on. Then I look at top and I'm like, okay, I cannot do my plan bot. I can't because my top wave is fucked. So at this point, once I've gathered all the information on my lanes and I've processed what this means for me, I make my decision. And you'll see, it's a pretty simple decision, right? If you path down, your camp spawned like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So obviously I'm running top to do this camp, but I'm very aware that if Sejuani ganks, I'm ready to fucking bolt it. I'm ready to bolt it. And, well, luckily, not luckily, but because I planned and I was aware, I'm looking top, and it ends up being very, very good for me. So this is jungling to me, right? You gotta make these plans, you gotta decide these things, but at the end of the day, it becomes to execution, right? I, in my head, can see that, hey, this is going to be a double kill for me. So you see me ghost really early, you see me playing it like this, like, it comes down to execution at the end of the day, don't get me wrong. But if you put yourself in these good positions, you end up winning a lot more games, I'll say. Alternatively, if I wanted to just purely play based off good decision making, the moment this guy flashes like this, I eat this wave with my top laner and I return to my plan. I go down to my Gromp, I go down to my Wolves, and I go down to the bot. I've defended my top laner successfully. Okay, so that's the jungle fundamentals to how you look at it. If we want to look at this really quickly, in depth, what's going to happen here is actually my top laner will indeed crash the wave, right? He'll crash, and he'll recall, right? But that means that their top wave is slow pushing into us. So imagine this. After their top gank, I come down, I do this. Their Sejuani either dies or she recalls, so she starts here, and she pathed up while I path down. So she's gonna run here and run here. I'll have better tempo than her because I killed her or I made her recall. So I'll be around this point by the time she's at this point, maybe even faster because I'm playing Udyr. The point is, while I'm doing this, what can she do? And to answer that quickly, she can go dive my top lane. She could skip these two camps, and because their top wave is slow pushing in, she can go and fuck up my top laner. So you need to be aware that that is an option for Sejuani to do. I'm not sure if that's what she does, but that again comes from processing what you want to play for and figuring out what the enemy jungler can do as well. It doesn't look like she does that because we are playing Gangplank. So Gangplank, right? Gangplank being the champion he is, he can clear this wave in front of Renekton's face because he just puts down a barrel, he hits the barrel, he hits level 6, he kills the wave. Let's say you're playing Jax or Fiora. It's much harder to make that happen. That's where I would ask myself, is this dragon worth more than my top laner losing 3 waves? Sometimes it is. Most of the time it's probably not. But that's where you ask yourself that. Alternatively, it gets even more, there's so much going on. Alternatively, let's say we have a bot dive going on. Let's say we can dive their bot lane. And my top laner gets stove, sure. And you could dive their bot lane and they get dragon after. It's worth it. Or you ask yourself if it's worth it. So then, you ask a question, okay, is dragon worth more than my top laner dying? You'll look top, you'll hold tab, you'll check information that you need, you process what it means. You process what it means to have a very, underfed Gangplank and what it means for them to have a fed Renekton. And if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. This game, we have Xayah, we have Syndra, we have some decent form of CC. If Renekton gets fed, honestly, he's not that worrisome. So if I wanted to sack my Gangplank some more, I could. But back to the fundamentals. It's a 4-step thing. You ask a question. You gather intel. You process the intel. And you think. You think very hard. What is the best thing to do based off of that? So I'm going to put this in the classroom chat real quick. 4-step thing. It's very simple to do. And it makes your jungling decision making at least much, much smoother. Okay, does anyone have any questions about that?
It's working very well.
It's working? Okay.
Yeah. I'm in a game right now. I'm 7-0 at 12 minutes.
Alright. We have live proof here, guys. But yeah, questions. I'm here to answer. Anything right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna look at another game. All right. Okay. So there's a little bit more I wanted to discuss. So I don't know what elo everyone is, right? We could be different elos. That's okay, right? So let's talk about something, some key ideas for jungling. Okay, so one wave is worth 21 times 3, and then what is it? 14 times 3? I think that's right. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But let's do that math real quick. I hope casters are worth 14 gold. That's some crazy. That's worth 105 gold, right? Almost every camp is worth 100 gold. I'm gonna fact check myself too. Um, let's see what Gromp is worth. 80 gold. Okay, and then you get a biscuit as well. Or you get like a little jungle pet. So it's worth 100 gold. At the end of the day, a camp is worth 100 gold. So imagine you're playing lane and you miss every single minion, right? You don't get 100 gold, but you get EXP, right? So even if your laner is just terrible, if they're in the EXP range, they're leveling up. If you guys have looked at the like LoL Wiki champion like stats, like yeah, I got it up. Like, you gain so much stats just by leveling up. Like, 5 AD every single level for Aatrox, right? That's almost like that's half a longsword, right? And you get stats everywhere. When you actually see the chart, like this is not the right page, but leveling up is insane, even if you're not getting any gold. But to backtrack, one camp you can equate it to like one wave, right? You get the gold and you get the EXP. So imagine I'm playing and I'm ganking and I'm skipping all my camps, everything, and I'm only denying the enemy mid laner like one wave, maybe even two waves. Like, it's actually not worth to do that if you're wasting your time a bunch. So just to emphasize, your camps are worth a wave. Let that help you decide whether your gank is good or bad, whether your hover is good or bad. One wave is one camp, pretty much. All right, tempo. So you hear this word probably used a lot. What the fuck is tempo, guys? What is tempo? Um, tempo is an idea of where how I'd like to look at it is it's an idea of who has the turn. Whose turn is it? So in this game we were looking at earlier, we saw that I just killed Sejuani. Right? She's dead. She's gonna be up in 5 seconds, right? And she has to walk from base to whichever camp she wants to go to. Right? That takes about 20 seconds. So she's minus 20 seconds, right? Realistically, I normally would have to recall at this HP, but because I'm playing with Deer, I heal a little. But the idea is she is down tempo right now. Why? Because as a jungler, you have to do things. What you have to do is you have to clear camps, right? Before you can gank, realistically, you have to clear camps. You can skip camps and make plays that are not on your tempo, but it's not your turn. So let's say this Sejuani decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna skip my entire bot side. I'm gonna run straight to bot. And I'm gonna gank. I'm gonna pray that it works, and maybe it works. She left her Gromp, her wolves, and her raptors up, right? So after she does this gank, successful or not, she's down even more tempo because her whole camp, all of her camps are up. She has 4 camps up, dragons up, and I'll be done with my Gromp, my wolves, and my raptors by the time she ganks spot. Okay, so maybe not all of them, but my Gromp and my wolves for sure. So let's say she ganks bot, she's full HP, it's perfect world for her, she gets a kill, she maybe gets 2 as well. She still has to go back and clear camps. While she's doing this, I have many options. I can recall, still be up tempo because she has to clear camps, and I cleared all of mine already. I can pull the dragon and force a fight when my laners are back on map because I'll have advantage, I'll have level advantage, I'll have like tempo advantage. I can skip my Krugs, and after I do all 3 of these camps, I can invade his top side because I have better tempo. There's so many things you can do to punish enemy tempo mistakes. Now, what you can't do is what that Sejuani did. That's what I want to emphasize. It's better to play down tempo and to just, wait and be patient than to try and force plays that are not on your turn. You'll get punished by good junglers. And if you're a good jungler yourself and you keep good tempo, you'll always find good punishes to the enemy jungler. So, tempo is pretty much who has the turn on the map. And that comes with conditions as well. Because right now, look at my HP. If I was any other champion, my tempo actually isn't good. Why? Because it might be my turn because I'm faster on the map, but my turn does nothing because I have no HP. I have to recall, right? So it doesn't matter if I have tempo if my conditions are bad. For example, this happens a bunch in competitive. Let's say the enemy has enemy ADC is up 2 items. We're gonna go extreme. It doesn't matter how much tempo you have. If when you actually fight, they're just going to win the fight because of how many items they have. But what tempo can do for you is it can mean that I can be in this bush potentially. I can be in fog. I can flank. I can have better position than the enemy team. So even though I'm down conditions here, and you'll see me play this out, I get to full HP. But imagine a world where I'm still half HP here. I'm in a good position to where I can sneak into this bush and I have time to do this while Sejuani realistically can't be in either of these bushes because she needed to do this camp, then this camp. I doubt Sejuani is even bot side, right? So let's say I was half HP, I can still make this play because if Sejuani wants to come bot, I have position advantage, right? That's one thing about jungling. Or about lane ganking, you have position advantage. But she also is leaving her whole top side up, and it's just going to be good no matter what because it's likely that Sejuani is just full clearing up. But that's the idea of tempo. Um, keep your tempo good. Don't make really bad tempo mistakes, and pretty much that means don't make plays that are not on your turn. It's better to just relax and play the game. It's much better.
Wait, but how do you know when it's not your turn? Like just when you're behind, like in farming?
Okay, so um let me see. Let me pull a game up real quick. Let me pull a game because this will help me explain that. Because that's a good question, right? Okay, so right here we're playing Hecarim, and what is their champ? I don't know what their champs are. See, I don't have information. I asked myself, am I up tempo? I need to answer a bunch of questions. Do I have information to figure this out? So they have Orn top, Azir, Pathing bot to Ezreal Rakan. They have Kaisa, Pyke, decently strong. We have Ignites, right? So I'm doing all this as fast as I can so I can come here and be like, okay. So look at how fast you cleared. You're done at 310. You think Kha'Zix can clear all of his camps by 310? Absolutely not, right? So if he ganks bot lane, he's going to be level 3, and you're going to be level 4, right? So let's say it's a 3v3 in the bot lane, you're going to be up a level, right? But realistically, Kha'Zix wants the full clear as well. Actually, there's been a kill in this game. Let's see what happened. There's been a kill. Okay, we see Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix pathing up too? Jesus. I know he's pathing down. Okay. But yeah, look, so he's pathing down, and you're also pathing down, so you're scared to gank bot, but you're up tempo here. Why? Because you cleared camps faster than him, right? Are you up tempo by a lot? No. You're up tempo. You're up like 10 seconds, maybe 5 seconds of time. So if you can gank bot and kill someone within those 5 seconds, then leave, that's how you would judge if you're up tempo or not, right? But another way to think about it is, okay, so we're even tempo right now, right? Because in another world where you don't clear as fast, you're even tempo. No one actually has that advantage here because you guys are in the same side at the same time. No one's faster than the other. That's how I would think about tempo. So let's look at another mistake. So you recalled, and it's likely let's say Kha'Zix does the bot crab, right? He goes to the bot crab. You're back on map with items, and he's stuck here, and he has to recall. So I guess the way you can look at it, I look at tempo is there are things that players, that people need to do, like spend gold, like get their HP back, get their mana back. That is a variation of deciding who has the tempo. For example, let's say you look at mid lane, and this guy has no mana. The red guy, he has no mana, but he has full HP, and your mid laner has um not a lot of HP, like a medium amount of HP, medium amount of mana. Like this guy realistically needs to recall in order to like do anything on the map, right? So my mid laner right here is actually up tempo, is how I would like look at it. Like it comes with conditions mainly and position on the map and things that players need to do. This guy, let's say he has wave advantage, right? This guy can realistically like go do the dragon. He'll be down mana though. So even if your guy is down like wave priority, his like tempo, his conditions are still good enough to like fight the dragon. Um, it's kind of like a there's a lot of going on with the idea behind tempo, but normally if someone asks you what tempo is, it's just like who has the turn on the map, and you ask yourself a lot more questions about conditions, wave states, ultimates, items, like gold spent, camps on the map, like all these things, like which objective to play for. All these things come into play when deciding like what the turn means for you.
Can I ask a question about
Go for it.
the Udyr game that you were showing?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. What's up?
Yeah, so if you want to rewind back to, I guess, after you counter ganked,
Yeah.
and then, right, so you said that Sejuani, is Sejuani the enemy jungler here?
Yeah, Sejuani.
Right. So you said that now you have a tempo advantage over Sejuani.
Mhm.
I guess like my question here is, since Dragon is just spawning right now, what's stopping Sejuani from just running straight to Dragon with an HP and item advantage over you?
So nothing, right? Because I'm in the top side and she's on the bot side. Right? The one thing that does stop her is it takes her 20 seconds to walk here, like maybe even 30, to like 25. So realistically, I'll be done with both of these camps. I'll be like finishing wolves by the time she's pulling. So it takes 20 seconds to do dragon, right? But like you said, item advantage, HP advantage, both true. Um, the problem with her doing this is, let's say she succeeds, she gets this dragon, sure. This camp is up, this camp is up, this camp is up, this camp is up. Fuck it, take a dragon, bro. I'll take your entire top side. I'll go from raptors, and I'll go here, and I'll eat this camp, and then I'll kill your top laner. Right? Like, he can't do everything, right? If my Balian's winning as well, while he's doing this dragon, okay, I clear bot, and I go invade your bot side. Goodbye, entire bot side. Right? Alternatively, I can just full clear, while he does dragon, recall, be on the map, better HP, better conditions, and still fight where she is, wherever she is, whatever lane I want, so whichever lane is good for you, and you'll be in a better position, right? Because you'll still have advantage. So this putting her down even more tempo to do this, but many people do this. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just, it's okay. Like, you have to find something else to punish her about. People do pull objectives like this. So, hopefully that answers your question.
So then what should, yeah, it did, by the way, thank you.
Yeah, cool.
And what should Sejuani do in this situation? Say I'm the jungler that lost tempo.
Right, so
I got double killed. Like, what should I do?
right, so what the Sejuani did do is what I think is the correct thing. So she, if I play it really quick, she doesn't show at all a single time, because what she's doing is she's going and she's clearing all of her camps. She's clearing everything from base. And one thing we can note from earlier when my top laner got dove is you'll see me hold tab and check her CS in a sec. Give it a second, because I need to double check myself. I think she has 20 CS. Don't tell me I held tab and I instantly checked that fast. I think I did. I need to slow it down, sorry. So that's the thing, like I instantly know what to do and it's very fast. But pretty much when she showed top, I held tab for like literally half a second and I looked at her CS to decide what camps she did. But give it a sec, because that'll help me answer your question. Yeah, so she has 20, she has red and blue, right? So that means in my head, in order to make the timing here, she did blue Gromp Wolves, blah 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 blah, ganked up. Right? So her Krugs are up. Okay, that's like positive elimination jungle tracking. Right? But to answer your question, if I'm Sejuani in this position, I have all my camps respawning from bot side, right? So I'm gonna come from base and I'm just gonna clear everything and just play a map state where I will be down tempo, so I won't be able to respond to, let's say, a dragon take. I will be able to respond to a turret dive, but it's okay if I don't do either, because once the enemy jungler makes a play, I'll have the tempo back, right? So for example, I did all of this. I ganked bot because their bot lane kind of minted, not gonna lie. I did the dragon, but that puts me at a tempo disadvantage. And you'll see, I actually lost my blue buff, and my top laner got dove, like I said earlier, right? So this Sejuani played the map state how I think he should have played. He was down tempo, but I obviously am going to make a play when I'm up tempo. I'm obviously going to make a play in general. I'm just playing the game. But after I make a play, she also can make a play after that. She'll have tempo. But now that she did this and I recalled, I'm back in the advantage in tempo, right? She has to recall. I can clear all my camps. But while I did my dragon, while I did the bot crab, while I ganked bot, she was clearing all her camps, and she did my blue buff and she dove my top laner. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Otherwise, I'll continue with just general jungle stuff.
Um,
What's up?
what do you do if you have tempo and recognize it, but either don't know what to do with it or don't think you have anything to do with it?
Then keep your tempo up. Don't show. Number one thing, we're gonna get there, but do not show when you're up tempo. The moment you show, you reveal that you're actually you kind of reveal too much for the enemy laners, for the enemy jungler. You give too much information away. But don't show and just do all your camps and recall. And that's what you can do when you don't have anything to do. Sometimes there aren't things to do. Sometimes there aren't dives. Sometimes there aren't ganks. Sometimes there aren't objectives to play for. Just clear your camps and hit B and don't force anything.
Okay. Is that also true if you have tempo as a team?
No. If you have tempo as a team, you always want to be controlling a quadrant, for example, right? And once you eat the camps, there's always something to do. There's always something to do when you have tempo, and it's just the controlling quadrants of the map, controlling sides of the map.
Okay.
Thanks for the really fucking unique question, man. Thanks for a late game special question, Gavin.
You're short.
Okay, nice. I am actually. Anyway, okay. Jungle tracking. I was talking about jungle tracking a second ago. By deciding, I showed you guys how I instantly decided, what the Sejuani did. I held tab for literally this long, and I instantly knew what it meant, right? Because my eyes are literally glued to like right here or whatever. I don't know exactly where it is, but I think it's like right there. Right? Yeah, it's like right there. See, I didn't know. I didn't even think it was there, and it was there. My eyes are glued here when I'm holding tab to know what CS she has to jungle track. So every camp is worth 4 CS, right? Every single one. If you don't get parts of Raptors, Wolves, or Krugs, you'll end up having like 1 or 2 less. But the point is, in the early game, it's very, very, very easy to jungle track. If she started the bot side, when she recalls, she will return to the bot side. If she started the top side, she recalls, she'll return to the top side. If they don't, then they have no camps here. For example, we started these camps, we recall, and we go straight to bot lane. That means all these camps are up, and these camps aren't up, right? Because she pathed down. So you could keep that in mind and invade, right? Like, just generally speaking, jungle tracking means that, hey, the side I start is the side I'll return to for most of the early game, and I'll always end on the other side. Every single camp is worth 4 CS. So, like I said earlier, I know she ended up top side. I know she cleared bot to top. I know that if she ever makes a top play, ever again, she'll have cleared her whole bot side and go to the top side. And that stays true for majority of the game. Except for at this point, actually no, it's still staying true. It's still staying true. So, again, now her red buff is up, her blue buff is up, even all my camps are up, because we both made plays where, like, it was just like, my turn was over, once I pushed this guy out, my turn was over, but I thought I was strong enough to make this happen, right? Like, my HP, my ghost coming up, I feel like the man right here. So I'm fucking fighting pretty hard, right? But she now has an option to go topside and reverse her clear. But the moment I see that she ends up bot side, it instantly triggers in my head, okay, she cleared this and then went down. So that helps me get into the next point of jungle pathing. But real quick to summarize jungle tracking is she ended up in the top side, right? She ended in the top side and she has red buff, right? So by process of elimination, she cleared this and getting top. So that means everything else should be up, right? Maybe Krugs is gone. But after this, if I want to insta recall, run straight into his bot side, I could, right? Because she's in the top side, she has her whole bot side up, and she's gonna never be able to respond to my bot side invade. I don't know what I do though. I invade her top cap. So yeah, I do something. I think it's a suboptimal, but I think I'm really close to demonic, right? So that's the other question. Like I have my demonic in 200 gold, so I think I want to do this, like Herald mid or gank mid, and do wolves and get my item, right? End up getting a kill, which is good. Maybe you see me even go into the shop. No, I guess I don't need to go to the shop. I know in my head what my item is. But pretty much if you don't, once you're doing Rift Herald, you would just go to the shop real quick and see how much gold you have left to get the item. Okay. Ignore what's going on here. This is a sloppy game. I should have just recalled. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, jungle pathing. Okay, going to pathing. So like I was saying, actually, sorry. Does anyone have questions about jungle tracking? Because that was pretty quick.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, so whenever you invade, will you path just generally will you path like right back down into your side, and kind of do like vertical jungling, or I guess where do you go from there?
Are you saying like an early game invade or like where all camps are up?
Um, Maybe in both instances, like both early game and late game.
So it depends, right? So like let's say every camp is up, right? Just picture every camp is up, and I go and I invade here, and their jungler is doing this, right? Doing this, doing this, doing this, and I do all of this. There's no time to go down here, right? Because if she ever wants to go and invade me, then I have no time to go bot, so I would just split map, right? This is called a split map. But if I want to play it this way, I could do my raptors, and then I could run straight to my raptors, and then straight to my like this, right? The problem with this invade in general is just your camps are like really desynced, so it feels bad. So it's always better to like kind of do all the camps in the same area. So I would do like raptors red and then go like this. That's fine. The thing you have to ask yourself to answer your question is where can the enemy jungler invade me back? Let's say your bot lane has perma prio, right? That means that top side is the camps that they can invade. So if I do raptors and then red, I need to defend here, not here, because they have prio and they can it's like a ward here, and they bot lane normally will have a ward like here, right? So I don't need to defend my bot lane. You just ask your milliner, you ping him, you ping the ward ping, and you beg him to ward. Yeah.
Okay, a lot of games, like what I've been doing is I'll grab like one camp my side and then immediately go to their side and start taking I'll take like one or two camps, but then at that point I'll be level 2, right? I would need one additional camp to hit 3. Is it bad? Like, should I just look to try to snag that third camp on their side? I always dip out because I'm like worried I'm gonna get collapsed on or whatever.
It's better to get level 3, right, on the camps you can. If you're invading, like, why do you feel the need to invade like this? I guess because it's like very unnatural to go from one camp to the enemy jungle.
Yeah, I don't know, just to set them behind.
Right. So the problem with invading like that is it has a very high chance of getting punished because you're skipping a lot of your own camps, so you're not cycling your own camps, and they are going to be level 3 faster than you because they're clearing camps like near their own side. Or yeah, like imagine you do red buff and you go to his blue buff and like I don't know. It just whatever's going on, whatever I'm hearing, I hate to say it, but like I think it should stop. You always want to just try and play natural games. Like I actually very rarely find myself invading early game nowadays. It's so much better to full clear one time and then invade. Um, so yeah.
What do
Even
you
if you
think
do the
of,
3. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
what do you think about, let's say, I'm playing Hecarim, enemy jungles invading my red, like level 1. They like hard invade me. Like, let's say it's the Graves, like 5
Yeah.
stack
Yeah.
my bot lane. Would you say, like, I do my blue into, like, their red, or like
No.
the Raptors red, like, start?
Yeah, so if that's happening, you're getting invaded like this, you go straight to their camps.
Alright.
You don't touch your top side. You go straight to their camps and then you return.
Oh, so okay, so I don't even do my blue into, okay.
No, you go straight to theirs. Especially if you're playing a trap like Hecarim, you can do like their red buff, right? Oh no, they're Raptors, right? So.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I guess if I'm like, for whatever reason, really want to invade, like, I feel like I can just beat the enemy jungler. It would just be better to do all 3 camps, grab level 3, and then invade instead of doing
Yes,
like a couple.
100%. So that was the go-to path for me. In competitive and solo queue, I would literally do. Well, there's 2 variations, right? It's blue, Gromp, Wolves, invade bot side, invade top side, or it's red, Krugs, Raptors, invade bot side, or invade top side. That was my go-to path at some point, but it's always better to just like hit level 3 from your own camps, and then invade because it just like it makes it so you're not playing down like so much on the map. Because let's say you do your red, Krugs, Raptors, and then invade, and then it goes really bad. Like you at least cleared some camps, so it's like it's better than red to here and like dying. And you have 5 camps up, and it's just really sad.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And sorry, just one last question. Like, if for whatever reason I do decide like I'm gonna invade, maybe I start on their side and I take 3 camps. Should I just run instead of doing vertical jungling? Like, should I run to my alternate side to clear that? Because that's probably what they're gonna do the second they realize that I cleared their side, right?
Yeah, so um, you're saying like level 1 invading, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say you're level 1 invading, you're getting first Raptors, and he's starting bot side, right? So he can go like if he has information, obviously he can invade your bot side. But realistically, you want to have a reason for this invade. Let's say the reason for this invade is you want to deny their level 4, right? Because they full clear, then they hit level 4, or you want to just get the Raptors. Just fuck it. Let's make it simple. I want to get the Raptors. I only care about the Raptors. Sure, you can go Raptors to your Krugs, right? This will give you level 3. Your Raptors to red will not give you level 3. That will not give you level 3. But yes, you can go Raptors to Raptors or like red like Raptors red to your like bot side. Like that's good. That's fine. It's just very very game specific, right? Like I said, like if you do this path, right, and you're seen,
Hmm.
he will do blue Gromp Wolves and invade your top side, right? So it's like
Right.
you're going even-ish. Like you're actually going down, by the way. If this happens and he does blue Gromp Wolves and he invades your Wolves first, and he gets this first, and then he plays into this, and his top has prio, he'll come move, and it's like a really sad fight right here. But he'll gain more because he'll have 3, 3. You only have 2, and then 3. Um, so it really depends on why you're invading, and if it's just to good Raptors, like it still depends game to game.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I was thinking more like in an instance where I actually clear 3 camps on
The
his
3 of his
side
camps
instead of.
on his side.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Oh, cool. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so after you clear his whole top side, so there, like by the time you're done with his top side, he's done with his bot side, right? So if you're unseen, he has going to walk to his top side. He could even go bot, or he can go mid, right? Those are his options. He can go here, but this invade is pretty unrealistic, right? So I'm not gonna put that. So these are his options. Normally he goes for this right here, right? By the time you're here, you can go around. You could fight him with position advantage. That's one option. You can um you're right here. it depends on the game, but most of the time in this case, you're leaving your bot side. You're letting your bot side go. The only time you won't let your bot side go like this is if your laners have prio. Then you ask them to ward, and you do your wolves first, right? And then you either defend or then you do your blue gromp. And it's important to note that I said wolves first and not blue buff first, because if this guy does blue gromp wolves and sees, okay, this camp is gone, he doesn't really need to know that this camp is gone. Like, he can just assume. He'll just run like this and attack you from either direction, right? It's better if he goes down, if he goes like this and attacks you like this. But if he doesn't find you here or here, and he finds you here, it's harder for him to invade. It's harder for him to kill you. Doing wolves is a very safe camp to do, when you feel like they can invade you.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much. Sorry
Yeah.
to take so much of your time, and,
You're
and sorry
good,
to take
man.
time from everybody. Which camps will you smite like on that first clear?
Cool. Never Raptors. Krugs is very good to smite. Let's say we're just clearing normally, so you're doing blue gromp wolves, regular clear down. Smiting first camp for level 2 if you want to make things faster. Let's say you have good isolation damage. Like, let's say you're good at AoE damage and you're starting blue buff. You always want to smite your first camp. Let's say you do good isolation damage. Obviously, blue and gromp are isolated. It's fine to smite wolves, and it's best to smite Krugs. So these are like the two main camps I would smite. If you're bad at doing isolation damage, you smite this and or this, and Krugs is always the best camp to smite though. Like, always this camp.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Cool. All right, back to pathing, and then we have like two more things, and then we'll look at part of a game, and then yeah. So pathing. We've been blue side this whole time, so we'll continue from blue side, but pretty much I'm starting blue buff. Blue gromp wolves is my path, right? You always want to clear a quadrant. Almost never do you want to do something like this. It's just like don't even overcomplicate it, bro. Don't worry. Like, you'll climb, you'll be fine. Don't worry about this path. The only time this path is like really beneficial, I guess, is in much higher elos where both junglers are playing mind games pretty much. It's like a different game. When both junglers know what each other can do, when both junglers are aware if they can invade, if they can dive, if whatnot, like, that's the only time where I really overcomplicate your path. Otherwise, keep it simple. So I cleared like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One thing you can change if you're a fast clearer is to go 5, 6, right? This way you get your red buff on the map longer, right? So on the crab fight you have red buff longer, on the bot gank you have red buff longer. Your recall you end up with red buff longer. Additionally, your camps, your raptors, and your krugs will be spawning like the same time. So let's say nothing happens on the map. You do 1, 2, 3, and instead of waiting here for like 4 seconds, like instead of waiting here for like 10 seconds probably, maybe even more, you just instantly do it. So it saves you time. Only I would do that if I either know that their jungler pathed up and he won't come for the spot crab, so I have time to do it, or if my champ clears fast, like Udyr clears fast, Hecarim clears fast. Otherwise, it's just more efficient pathing wise. Instead of doing this, right? It takes time to do that. It's just like this, boom, boom. It's much faster. Only if you have like you got leashed, you have time, like you're fast. After you're done with your clear, these crabs level 1, I will say, mean piss. They're actually like terrible, terrible. The crabs that matter is just the next crab that spawns. So let's say you have an option. You have two options. You have option 1, gank bot. You have option 2, gank mid. You have option 3, just fucking recall. Normally, you have option 4 too. Sorry, do the crab. Normally, you never want to do option 4, right? And option 1 and 2 are very risky. So you'll see that recalling is actually really powerful here. But if you have time, go ahead and do this crab. Let's say there's like, it's going to be a winning fight, or you know the jungler's top side doing their crab. It's fine to just do the crab and then recall. But pretty much, no matter what, whenever you're playing, you want to be here at 410. Why? Because that's when Gromp spawns. That's when your first camp spawns. It can be Gromp, it can be Crux, right? So if you're pathing the other way, it can respawn. So you want to try and make it to this camp at 410, and it takes 20 seconds, like we've been talking about, to get out of base. So it takes 20 whole seconds to get out of here. So we want to go all the way over there like that, as fast as we can at 410. And it's okay if you're like 10 seconds off, but realistically you don't want to be more than that. And then after you clear your blue buff and you clear your Gromp, after that, you do not need to do these 2 camps because we're pathing bot for a reason, right? We're pathing bot for a reason. We're pathing bot because we want to help them. We want to gank them. We want to do dragon. We want to do whatever. So this is where I will... I don't know the word, but like I'll call this your weak side and call this your strong side, right? So we have strong side and weak side. When you path like this, you always want to clear your weak side. Always. If your weak side is off the map, you never need to clear your strong side. This is your strong side. Why? Because you're pathing there. So let's say this is his weak side, right? And he's pathing like this into his strong side. And you, for some reason, are like, yeah, man, I want to just bolt it to bot lane. And I want to gank bot, and you get a bot gank. You get a bot kills. What's going to happen is this guy's like, wait a minute. His whole top side is up. I can just fucking invade him. Right? And you lose your entire top side for a bot gank. It's not worth it. It's never worth it to do that. Just clear your stinking camps, your 2 camps, clear 1, 2, and then do whatever you want. If you for some reason love invading, if you for some reason love ganking, doing whatever you want, fucking do it after you clear your weak side, okay? And here's the trick, guys. Top lane doesn't fucking matter, okay? Unless your champ is like Jax, Fiora, Gangplank, sometimes Renekton even. Top lane is very, very shit, especially if you're pathing like this, because you path down for a reason. Commit to it, right? If you're wrong about it, you're wrong about it. That's fine. You can learn. But that's how you should just generally understand how pathing works. That honestly, unironically, saved my life when I played on Dig. I came in as a sub in playoffs, and this kind of concept kind of saved my life because, funnily enough, other higher elo players mess this up a lot, and you'll end up seeing their weak side ready for you to invade. Like it's just like a snack. Like, so this is your weak side, this is your strong side. This is his weak side, his strong side. And they'll go here, and you can just fucking invade him, and it's really, really easy because there's just not much stressfulness to go about it. So let's say you do need to help top lane though, and you path bot. It's better to do 1 camp, gank top, and then skip wolves. Now you lost this camp of time because you ganked here, and that's okay. You expended time to help top, so you don't have time to do this camp because you need to defend the bot side and you need to interact with bot lane. Alternatively, if there's no problem bot, let's say you want 2v2 up here, you can then go back and clear everything because there's no urgency on the map. It's like a chill map state. It's a natural map state. There's nothing to worry about. If that's the case, clear your camps. But normally there's going to be stuff to do, so you want to return to bot side as fast as you can. Best case scenario, you go from base, you walk like this, and there's like a bot wave there's a top wave you need to crash. You're here, you're sitting in this bush, you crash it, then you go back to camps, right? You go back to camps. Or like the gank, or like in my game I showed, the guy ganks, and I'm here, and we kill him, and it's perfect. Otherwise, you don't really want to interact with your weak side. Unless, again, there's so many unlesses, but unless your bot lane is like completely fine, like they're not struggling at all, they don't need to get ahead. Let's say you have a scaling lane, decent scaling lane, like Ezreal maybe, like fucking Seraphine Sona bot lane against, something that can kill them, like Nautilus and Ashe. Like that's a scary bot lane for your Seraphine Sona. But if for some reason you kill them once and they have like such a big item advantage, sure, you can expend some time to help your weak side, but it's always, always, always easier to play the game if you just fucking win with your strong side. Just clear your weak side, go down, go bot. Cool. Any questions about that?
For the same purpose, like a lot of times what I end up doing is if I feel like there's a lot of tension on the map, like say if I'm coming like top down, right, on the blue side.
Yeah.
I'll skip Gromp and I'll just like go from wolves and I'll clear down from there. Like if I feel like there's tension on the map, because like I don't know, I just feel like Gromp is like too far away from like the rest of the map that I'm trying to play on. If I'm trying to play away from top.
Yeah, so it seems like you feel like okay, so when you feel like there's tension on the map, it makes you feel like you're forced to make plays, right? So it makes sense. This camp is far. This camp is far from mid and bot. But
Yeah.
the problem with that is depending on what the enemy jungler is playing, depending on what's going on in the game, like imagine you do one camp and you gank and all you've done is one camp from base, you're putting yourself behind, right? You're leaving this camp like able for their jungler to get like it's just you're dropping too much for no reason, right? Because let's say there isn't anything that happens, right? Let's say you do your wolves and then you do your raptors and you go mid and you gank and like nothing happens, like now your camps are are here. Like that's depressing. The reason why clearing these two camps is better is because after you gank mid, now you have two camps right next to each other to clear. That's what makes clearing the same quadrant, your weak side quadrant, better than just skipping one. Because by the time you like leave this quadrant, you have another whole quadrant to clear. So what I like to call is like a natural game, like a game where like there might be tension, but there's no good play for you. There's no good like actual opportunity for you. So it's better to just clear your camps. Um, yeah.
What do I do if my top laner called me a bad little boy for weak siding him, and then like I start feeling guilty?
Hope this answers your question. There's nothing you can do. It's called what another coach called it was the was it the fuck. I don't know, but it's like it's like a feels bad syndrome. Yeah, I think that's like something what he said. It's like feels bad syndrome. Like I have it. Like I still have it to this day. It affects me a lot. Like it's made me lose so many games. You just go into every game. I figured it out, guys. It's so easy. Just slash mute all. Play with chat off, slash mute all. Your teammates' pings will not help you make decisions. And the best part about muting all is you have no one to blame other than yourself. So, yes, your top laner made you feel guilty, but you still went to help him like a donkey, right? You still went there to help him and you lost your game. If you mute everyone and you still make that decision, you have no one to blame anymore but yourself. So you can actually see, you know, your flaws and you can see like what you can actually improve on. But I understand, bro. I have a feels bad syndrome too, where like I gank bot, I'm winning bot, my top laner is getting ganked. It's like split map. He's pathing up, I'm pathing down, and I'm like, bro, we're shitting on the ball and we have a dragon, but my top laner keeps getting dope. My top laner keeps getting ganked, and he's like pinging me or he's like typing, and it's just like then I make one play top and I 2v2 and then my bot lane 2v2s and they lose as well. It's just like it happens, but it's on me to really decide that hey, this top fight is never gonna be good. Just go fight bot lane.
Mhm.
It'll just be better.
Like my only issue with that is like I won't have anybody to blame. So like you know what I mean? It feels worse.
I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like you want
Well,
someone
like
to blame or?
yeah, like when I lose the game, I won't have anybody to blame. Like it's that simple. Like it'll have to be my fault, so I don't want to do that.
I mean, you actually like got me here. Like I actually don't know. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like if you need to preserve your ego in that way, it's understandable, but it's just like if you want to improve, if you want to win, if you want to climb, like there are steps that pros do. Like I would like I've seen Blabber when he streams, like he like the moment some guy pings, like it can be like a question mark ping in a normal way, he'll just mute them like instantly. I had contracts come in my chat recently. He just told me like, bro, mute all is so OP. Like I don't know why you're not doing it. Like there's just things that pros do for a reason that help them climb. Um, we live in probably like one of the like most toxic like regions, I would say. Like I mean, I guess Korea's messed up too, but everyone in Korea is messed up. It looks like, so it doesn't affect them as much. I don't know. It's just like I get what you're saying, but it's good if you can blame yourself because that way you can climb, or you can improve. Not climb, but you can improve.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, you fucking got me there, bro. Like I like sometimes like I forget like how much mental matters in terms of like blaming yourself and calling yourself bad and just like saying you have so much to work on. It's like very intimidating. It's very stressful to have that mindset permanently. So the way I would say to counteract that is within the games you're blaming yourself for your mistakes. Look at the positives. Look at the good plays you're making. Look at your mindset. Look at the things that you can feel proud about. Because at some point in my career, when I was playing competitive, I was really hard on myself. Like I thought I was really trash and everything. Like I mean, my coach called me trash and whatnot too. Like it's hard mentally. So just remind yourself that like you are a good player for many X, Y, and Z, but still, it's better to not blame your teammates. It's just good to focus on yourself. Focus on yourself in a positive way. Cool. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah, what's up?
How often are you weak siding top? Because I feel like the majority of the games I've played, if it's so hard to win through top unless you are completely stomping the other top laner and they're like 5 levels down and you have like Riven or Fiora or Jax or something.
Yeah, I mean, very rarely. Right, like I said, like Jax, Fiora, yeah, like you said too. What the hell, Jax, Fiora, Gangplank, champs that can like snowball the game, that are good in team fights. Those are the champs I'd path to, but realistically, top lane is not gonna carry. And there's many reasons why. Like there's two people in bot lane, so there's instead of one person to tilt, there's two to tilt. There's dragons, right? A big thing that people forget is if your bot lane is winning, your support can move around the map. So for example, if their bot lane is winning and their bot lane is like shove, perma shove, their support is gonna it's gonna give the tilt effect to your mid laner now, right? And then your mid laner is gonna blame you, and then the support ends up going top, and then your top laner blames you or like blames the support. It just like go help bot lane. Very rarely will you end up going top. That doesn't mean that you can't defend top lane. Let's say your top laner really needs to crash a wave, like you saw what I did. Bro, I didn't want to interact. Okay, he's playing Gank, but I didn't really want to go top. Like, I mean, I took a long stare at this wave to decide, is this worth helping? Like, a long stare to let's like see if maybe they're trying to gank too. But like, don't get mind controlled too hard by not helping. If this guy needs to crash a wave, he needs to crash a wave. You can go help him. But again, you need to decide if it's worth it because one camp is worth one wave. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so next thing will be ganking. Ganking. It's what the jungler does, right? No. Ganking is a fake idea. Ganking fucking sucks, okay? The only reason why ganking works is because the enemy laner is bad, right? That's the way I like to look at ganking. I would say 70 to 80% of the time, your gank could have failed or like is very likely to have failed, right? You're actually not playing the gank for a kill. You should be playing your gank or the reason why you're in the lane for the wave, for conditions, for things that are not I want kill enemy. So, for example, again, we're bot lane here, not because I want to kill them. I want this wave to not look like this so I can go play for dragon. And if these guys are trying to crash this wave, I want to make it so they can't move the dragon. And yes, kill is in my mind here, for sure. I'm not playing for that though. I'm prioritizing this. I'm prioritizing this right here. This dragon up here, right here. Let's see if we have another example. Okay. Not really. Um. At this point, it's kind of too late. Yeah, I don't really. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, back to what I was saying because I don't have many more examples, but ganking is kind of a waste of time, right? Unless you're playing champs like that really want to gank, which I think are really bad in the meta right now. You don't really want to gank. For example, there's like Poppy. He kind of just wants to go everywhere. But even Poppy, you can farm a lot. So like realistically, I think just ganking a lot and spam ganking a lot is like pretty bad right now. It's just not a good like game. Like the jungle is just not good for it right now. It's harder to come back. I would say. Against a good jungler. So back to like the main idea of ganking. So ganking should be used to get an advantage, right? Get an advantage, but it's not to kill them. So let's say you gank mid, you get their mid laner to 1 HP. You don't kill him. That's fine. Like what I see often is like jungler ganks mid like this, perfect. Gank mid, shove him out, perfect. Save your HP, go do your top side, go do your bot side, go recall, go do the objective. Nope. Junglers are like, yes, I need a kill. It's only worth it if I kill, and then they die. And then they go 1 for 1, but it's not worth it. It's 100% of the time, maybe like 90% of the time. No, nothing's 100%. It's very bad to die 1 for 1 as a jungler, especially when you have camps up, especially when junglers are up. 1 for 2 is acceptable, but still, it's the same concept. Like, it's better to go 1 for 0 than 1 for 2. It's better to just get both of the bot lane's conditions than to die. So the only time I would say, like, let's say I want to dive bot, I did all both my weak side camps, right? Maybe one strong side camp because I was just like, it's such a fast camp, and I'm like, bro, let's just go dive bot. I'll kill myself for it, get the 2 kills. That's still better than like not doing anything, right? So I'm not saying don't do anything, but it's just always better to live, prioritize objectives, and keep your conditions high. What I mean by that is, after a mid gank, a successful mid gank, let's say you're half HP. Don't take 2 tower shots for free trying to like fish for a Nidalee spear, for example. It's not worth it. Keep your conditions high so you can keep playing the game. Okay. So let's say you actually want to gank. Let's say you think, you know what? I just cleared my weak side, so I cleared step 1. I cleared my weak side, and you know what? Mid is looking juicy. Like mid has no flash, right? It could be a kill. When you're looking at this idea of I want to gank mid, you want it to be like you want to play it out in a way where like you're like this is gonna work 70% of the time. So if I were to be in the same position, same champions, from like a different angle, I could gank and it'll work. Or, you know, similar champions, I could gank and it'll work. You want to be making ganks like that. Otherwise, ganking and jungling is just not what you want to be worrying about. What I like to worry about is like waves and hovering the waves and, you know, deciding on what to do with better conditions than just gank the enemy laner. For example, let's say the reason why I want to gank mid here is because their mid laner is pushed up like this and our wave is frozen right now. So I'm playing to punish their mid laner on this wave. And let's say your mid laner is Rise. I don't know. Rise. Right? He has flash, and mid laner has no flash. Rise can flash EW. It's a very, very free kill. I think, you know, even 80% of the time it should be a kill if their mid laner has no flash and I have flash. Let's say I'm playing Jarvan. I have flash EQ. Their mid laner has no flash. Sure, go make the play. I don't mind that. But the way you should see it as well is their mid laner, if you haven't shown anywhere, you haven't shown top, you haven't shown mid, has to play very afraid anyway, right? Because your mid laner is freezing, you're bringing attention, or your mid laner is bringing attention to their jungler. Their jungler could be hovering. Their support wants to help. Their mid laner has to like do stuff to try and break the freeze. So your mid laner is already grabbing attention from the enemy team to where you can just farm, bro. Just farm all your camps, eat up, and afterwards you will have opportunity to make a play. It might not be a gank. It could be dragon though. It might not be a gank. It could be an invade. Right? So ganking only want to do it if it's above like 70% chance of it working. Sometimes even 90%, because if you're in a winning state, score is 10 to 5, right? 10 to 5. Looking good. You have like 3 kills, this guy has 3 kills, you have 2 kills, this guy has what's that math? 5, 3, 7, 8. This guy has 2 kills. Bro, it's better to not gank. It's better to just farm all your camps and wait for the enemy to make a mistake and wait for a better opportunity to show up, because I guarantee you there will be opportunity after you clear majority of your of your camps. If you really think there's something to do on the map, at least clear these 2 and ideally this one. So same thing with this side. At least clear these 2 and ideally like maybe 1. But yeah. Any question on ganking stuff? Okay, cool. So we have like one last thing, and it's fog. We talked about it a bit earlier, but showing on vision is what a lot of junglers do, and it really messes up with the game. Um, because you give so much information. Let's say you like just show up on a ward bot lane here, and the top laner is like playing really scared because he knows he can die to a gank, or he knows he can like get dove. But the moment he sees you, he's like, okay, it's my time to play the game, and he goes like crazy. He plays like a psychopath pretty much. Same thing with mid, same thing there, and um, pretty much what that means is you always want to avoid vision. So if you can, recall here. If you can, go through here and gank. Um, confirm if this is ward or not. Maybe put a pink down even. But sweeping and clearing wards is good, but it's better to just try and avoid vision entirely. Um, showing makes it really, really hard for the for your laners to play because the enemy laners will start playing very aggressively. And the best part is laners think ganking is like laners believe like ganking, like enemy jungler ganking is like very tilting, right? It's very tilting, it's very sad, like it's very frustrating to get ganked. So when that happens, like when you show, you confirm it that they're no longer afraid. So don't show pretty much. This goes for any role as well. Like don't show at all. Just stay in flock if you can. Um, but yeah. Any question about fog? Alright.
Can you show us pathing to avoid common words?
Yes. Okay. So let's say you're playing. So it's so for example, common word could be here. Common word could be here, here, here for. So I'm doing red side words, right? Here, here, um, here. Okay. So let's say you saw their bot lane like have a long timer to go, and you still want to help bot lane, right? Um, and they're like even in the wave. This one's very simple, right? You go bot lane and you like go through here, right? And it's very unlikely that they have gone toward this push. Some good players do, but it's very unlikely. Even the best of the best forget, right? Let's say the ward is not here, but it is like right here, right? So you could sit in this bush and wait, right? And then you go like this to gank bot, to interact with bot, right? Let's say you're around here and you're clearing this. What you could do to dodge this ward is go the other side. There's basically no way to dodge this ward. This area of the map is like very, very contested, especially in high elo. Um, so if there's a ward there, there's really nothing you can do. What you can do is you can be creative. If you have a dash, if you have blast plant, you can go around. And assuming that he doesn't double ward, because double warding doesn't make sense, you can go like this and hog this wall, right? Because this ward catches all the way up to like here, probably, right? So what you could do is you could go like that. Alternatively, make it even faster. You can go like this, hug this wall, and then go like that, and like really dodge the vision. But the idea is like you just don't want to be actively showing. Like for example, the crab right here, right? You don't get seen if you walk like this. You do get seen if you walk like this, right? Like this. But what people do is they still do this anyway because you don't want to get seen. They see you for a split second here, but laners are playing the lane, and junglers don't like pinging for some reason. So dodging vision like that. A cool one is there's nothing to dodge here, so that ward there's nothing you can do. That's why people place this ward. It's OP. Same thing with this one, nothing you can do. But a cool thing you could do when people ward like this or like this is if you really want to gank mid, you've probably seen it, but you go all the way around like this. You want to go even here. You still need to hug up a little bit, and then surprise. That's why mid laners need to push the ward even a little bit further. Even then, if you hug the side like this, the same concept, you show for the least amount of time versus running straight through the ward. Answer your question?
Yes.
Cool. Last few things. Mute all, we talked about. Use your damn pings. No one on your team actually knows where their jungler is. And you should not expect your teammates to know that either. The same way you mute all to ignore your entire teammates, just ping your teammates and tell them where they are. And if they don't listen to you, don't ping them, like don't spam ping them, don't question mark them. Play the game, but use your pings to warn them because I guarantee you they will listen. For example, after this, I'm pinging on the way, hold, assistance, and Zaya 3 pings, and Zaya says on the way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So like here, I actually mess up and I don't ping my top laner. I think I was very autopilot this game, but I should be spam pinging this guy. Careful, careful, careful! Please play safe, play safe. Because where's Sejuani? She's in the top side. From the jungle tracking I did, I know she's in the top side. So just use pings. Use pings to the best of your knowledge, and even if you're wrong, let's say Sedge is like doing her blue buff, bro. If I ping this guy off because I think Sejuani's there, you should still do it, even if you're wrong. It makes the game like easier for your teammates because they don't know about jungling. They don't know. They don't know what's going on. Cool. Last thing you'll see is when I'm clearing, you'll see that I'm kiting the camp, right? So this is I'm generating, a lot of seconds for myself. So I'm saving a lot of time. Not only that, you can see that I'm pathing very very like directly. Like I'm not looking at mid, I'm not looking at bot and like jitter clicking or whatever. I'm fucking clicking here, committing to the camp, and at the same time I'm collecting information. So what I mean by this is I see a lot of players like be really confused about what to do, what to play for, what to do, whatever. Farm your fucking camps while figuring it out. Please, 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 if you don't know what to do, just full clear. Just full clear and then you can figure it out. It's way worse to like, let's say you think you should be bot lane or you think you should be mid lane and you're like sitting in a bush for a decade, but you don't actually know what you're doing. You don't actually know why you're here. You just feel like you're there. Just farm the camp, man, and then go figure that out. There's actually no urgency like at all. The urgency is you applying that to yourself. I quoted this story a while back, but I'm a pro player, right? I played with pros like Core JJ, for example. I played in his in-houses, right? And this is when I was starting to, I was in the amateur scene, I was trying to like make it, but I got invited to the in-houses, they needed a jungler, and I was playing against Armeo. Besides the point, I was really stressed. I was playing with Core JJ, I was playing with the pros. I'm like, holy fuck, this is the first time I'm here in comms with these guys. I kept asking Core JJ, what do you think I should do here? After the game, I'd be like, man, like, I don't think I played that game too well. Like, do you have any advice for me? Every time he just would tell me, just play natural. Play normal game. Like that in his accent. He just say natural. What he means by that is like, bro, just do your camps. Like that's eventually I learned that just meant chill the fuck out, don't stress, clear your camps, then figure out afterwards, right? Most of the time, there's no stress, there's no urgency. You're putting that urgency on yourself. And even if there is urgency and you can't figure it out, it's better to just relax. Just relax. And this is a Core JJ story. So you heard it from him. He doesn't even play jungle. He's saying that. I'm sure it's true. I'm sure it's true then. I'm sure it's true. I'm sure he has a good feeling as to why that's important. Okay. Any questions? All right. We'll go to the last thing. So, same topic of feeling stressed and feeling like there's urgency on the map. When you're behind, it is so much better to do nothing. You might be like what? Like, I thought when you're down 5k, you're supposed to go and like try and kill the enemy ADC who's worth 1,000 gold. No, it's actually not at all. And I have a game. Let me find it. It's on my YouTube channel, where you'll see that my teammates were not fucking doing good, but you'll see that I did not make plays that were like game losing. So we'll go through this game really quickly. 3:45, the score is 1-4. Okay, it gets worse, guys. 5 minutes, the score is 1-6. Okay, the only lane that's winning is no one, because guess what? Every single lane has gotten solo killed once. Okay, no one's fucking winning, guys. Actually, my top laner is about to get solo too. Right around here. Top laner gets solo too. 1-7, guys. Not a great game. That doesn't mean I start ganking lanes like a mental patient. No, I play my fucking game. Okay. In the future, we can look at this game, but the point is, I'm 3-0. I'm 60 CS at 8 minutes. I'm keeping my tempo good. I'm playing for objectives correctly. I'm not like look, even look at this. Like I want my whole bot side, right? But I know the junglers in the bot side. I walk down and I'm leaving. You can see I'm triggered. I'm so triggered, man. My whole bot side's gone. It's okay. Make smart decisions. At some point in this game, you will see me try and yes, like get the gold back, get the shutdown. But you'll see it's actually so hard to do that. This game, it's 8-16. I'm 5-0. I have 100 CS, 13 minutes. I'm doing good. At some point in this game, let me get to it. I try my absolute darndest to kill these guys, and I mess it up because I mess my auto up. I mean, he has flash and everything, but I have 2 items. He has 2 items. I'm fed. This is where I feel like, okay, I've done really good in this game. I can maybe kill this guy. No. I'm wrong here. Just fucking take the mid wave. Just fucking go bot lane. Go play for this bot turret. Go play for bot invade. This is very hard to succeed here. It's very hard to kill this guy. He has flash. So, me doing this, it was so close. Not really, but it was like decently close. I have 2 items, but it's actually not good. At some point in the game, I decide like, yeah, like maybe I should try and like look for these plays like this. It's actually bad. Just keep playing your game, keep doing what you can, and if you lose your way, not in a way where you're fucking trying to like do the impossible, because you'll see at some point in this game, I died. At some point in this game, they get fucking tired, bro. They get bored is the word. They get bored. I don't know where it is. So we outplay them, but like, look, like this guy's literally getting bored. Like, look, he's ulting in like this. He's literally just getting bored. It's a challenger elo game, right? And eventually, I found my kill. I found the shutdown. Yippee, yippee! And I found a few shutdowns earlier as well. But they literally get bored. Like, look, the Pyke is playing it like this. Like, there's no need for Pyke to do this. To start off with E like this and play like this. But because people get bored, you can win. But it's also on you to not get tilted because come on, man. At 1-7, look at my entire team. Like, oh my god, bro. But seriously, it's really important. Don't force plays when you're behind. Relax. Lose in peace is the way I call it. Lose in peace. There's no stress, man. Many people lose games. Many people win games. Sometimes it's just not your day, and that's okay. That's fine.
So I've heard
Yeah.
a million times, Perry, people say, just don't tilt. What are you thinking about in the moment when you're not tilting? Are you just thinking about, like, are you stopping yourself from getting mad and just thinking about how can I win? How can I win?
Yes. So this is the fundamentals. I think you missed it, where I talked about asking a question. I'm asking myself many questions here. What can I play for? Is there anything I can do right now? Can I play for dragon? Like, look, you can see me spamming dragon, because I have prio here. Samira has prio, Arya has prio. So they're losing, but they still have prio. It's not like the game is not linear. The game is not the enemy solo killed my laner once, so they're winning. No, they can still get prio, right? My bot lane's about to crash away. My lane's about to crash away. You can see me pinging dragon. So I'm figuring out, how can I win? I ask myself, like, is there a dragon I can play for? What's the next play to stay into the game? Because believe me, I was still tilted even while doing this, and many games I tilt a lot. But the only way I can stay centered, stay focused, is by asking myself, like, what's next? What's next? What's the next play? What can I play for? Who's winning? Who's strong? Like all these like very simple questions, but it keeps you focused in the game. That's a good question. Any other questions? Any question is a good question, guys. Come on. Alright. If we got nothing, we will look at this. Okay. I'm not a fan of tier lists, but here's what I have. I think any of these junglers in the A list can be played in any elo up to like masters. Then it changes a lot. Like diamond masters, high diamond, high masters, or low masters. But unless you're already one-tricking one of these champions, don't play them. They're just very hard champions mechanically. like not that it's like very punishing to make mistakes. Similar with A minus, it's like unless you really know your champ, it's kind of hard to play it. They're decently high mechanics, and you need to really know how to play your champ. Um, these are like generically good champs. At the end of the day, the answer to what champ should I play, what champ is good, everyone plays a different style of the game. Everyone sees the game differently. I've seen people like go from like a gold to like a masters player when they're on assassins, and they go from a gold to a bronze player when they're on tanks, and when they play their mages or whatever, their normal mages, they're like um they're like the average rank. Like one trick mages, for example, and then all of a sudden they pick an assassin. I'm like, bro, you're actually insane on an assassin. The answer is you play what feels good for yourself, what makes you happy, and what you think your playstyle is. And you could be wrong about it. Like, bro, you could think you're a tank player and all of a sudden discover later that you actually are a ranged enjoyer, a Karthus, Kindred, Graves, Lilia, Fiddlesticks enjoyer. But, you stay true to what you believe for a while. For me, it's like I struggle with ranged champions, like a lot. I struggle with ranged champions and assassins. I used to be a Kane one trick, but I'm not good at Kane anymore. I'm not good at assassins, and it makes sense. I play competitive, right? So I play beefy frontline boys for my teammates. So I decided, okay, Jarvan's a good champ for me. Udyr's a good champ for me. Viego, he's a good middle ground. Like, you figure out what works for you, and there's no wrong answer really. Wukong, I put Wukong down here because his clear is pretty shit, and his team fighting can be difficult, like very difficult. But again, if you play the champ, you're comfortable in the champion in the don't play section in any of these sections, you like the champ, continue playing it. This is not to discourage you. It's just my general thoughts of like, don't pick up any of these champions. There's like they're very unique playstyles. They're like difficult. They're very punishing when you make mistakes. Cool. I'll send this in.
How come Poppy's down there?
So Poppy, her ult, the tool of ulting is very hard to maximize. First off, her W is very reactive. I don't expect players gold, silver, platinum to utilize her W correctly. Same thing with her E. Mechanically, Poppy is a very difficult champion. Additionally, when playing Poppy, people get really confused. They really want to gank lanes, but you don't have to play Poppy that way. So if you play Poppy in a way where a Gurren plays Elise, a Gurren full clears on Elise, a Gurren full clears on Jarvan. Like, if you can play the champ in a way that, works for you, fine, do it. If you want to play Poppy to spam gank, do it. I think there are better champions. For example, I think like Volibear is pretty good for that. Sejuani is pretty good for that. Lee Sin's pretty good for that, like spam ganking. There's just better champs like Xin Zhao. But I don't like including champions that require you to spam gank because, like I said earlier, ganks are dog shit, guys. You should not play the game based off the enemy like getting killed. It's very, very bad. Why is Mr. Yi don't again? I think a good Master Yi is S tier, 8th tier at least. But Master Yi, to maximize him in a fight, he's so squishy. I don't expect many people to maximize their Q usage in an actual fight or their true damage usage. A 20-second cooldown on your W and your E it's just hard to play. Think about like almost all these champs up here. This guy's cooldowns are super short. This guy is super linear. You just hit R. Udyr's cooldowns are short. Zac, well, kind of long cooldowns, but you're tanky as fuck. Like, it's just very simple champions, and you get rewarded for like the simplest things. All these champs right here are like super basic generic. I think I could switch Shyvana down a tier. Honestly, I overhyped her in my head. But that's the idea. Like, it's not to say that these champs are bad or there are better champions. You play what's good in mind, but don't pick up one of these champs and don't play, because it's much harder to pick up fucking Master Yi than it is to pick up a Mumu or Jarvan, personally. Or Rumble Jungle, for example. Like, that shit is hard. Go fucking play one of the easier champs. Yeah. Hope that answers your question, Munchie. Alright. Have any questions? If any last questions about this, feel free to type it or tell me. Otherwise, I'm gonna use the restroom and then we'll look at a game for probably 30 more minutes and then we'll call it because 2 hours is pretty good. Why is Kindred basic to me? It's not that Kindred's basic, it's just that the champion itself has good stats, good mobility, and way too much damage for what the kit already has. So, overloaded kit is what I would give Kindred as. I've seen players play melee range Kindred and work very, very, very hard. For example, you play Lee Sin, you play Nidalee, you play Gragas, you play Elise, you play Taliyah, any of those champs, you miss your abilities and you're fucked. Even Talon, I could argue to put him up there because of how like easy it is to make the champ like work. Red Raptors Gromstar, that's a very outdated path. I think when they make when they made the jungle pet changes, it's better to just clear one side. Same thing with the HP changes. The only time I would lock myself into a path like this is when like I really need to make it to bot like ASAP. But again, like I said earlier, like don't make the game hard, bro. Like keep the game simple, man. Like this path, people ask me about, people talk about, it's just a hard path. It's a hard path to know when it's right to do it. Leave it to the pros to do that. Just do this, bro. Just chill. It's okay. It's okay. You don't need to be the mastermind. You need to just make good, smart decisions. It's all good. Inventor of bro, you were there. It's such a good day. Rip Zin can hit everything and still might lose. Yeah, that is true. Like the thing is, Xin Zhao is a pretty decent champ at what he does. The problem with Xin Zhao is his stats are like actually depressing. Like his stats are just sad. Also, he's a similar champion that I feel like requires to gank a bit too much. I don't expect Xin Zhao to clear twice and be useful. You need to gank. All these other champions that I put up here, you could clear twice. Maybe not Graves. Maybe not Rammus. But, like, you get the idea. Like, you could clear twice, full clear, not interact with any lanes, and be very useful in fights. How's Rammus a minus tier? Isn't he super easy? He's easy, but the thing about Rammus is you kind of need to gank a good amount for Rammus to work. Like, in team fights as well, what people will do on tanks especially is they'll like chase really hard to kill people. You can't really kill people as Rammus. You need to be a frontline tank and you need to stay there. Yeah, recalling earlier to get double longsword, maybe not double longsword, just whatever back it is, like Recurvo, something like Recurvo and Viego, whatever it is. AP item, sure. It depends on what the enemy jungler is doing. It depends on why you're recalling. If you're recalling to play for one of their camp respawns, if you're recalling just because you feel too weak, you're low, sure, recall. But otherwise, do the crab if you have time. The crab is fine. The crab is fine to take if you have time. Why did you put the champs that play in low tier? An A. I mean, that's funny. That is your potion is with the crab. Futures Dirk, yeah, that is I think that's yeah, that should be enough. I think you also need to not buy the potion though. But yeah, for some thresholds it's important. It's like don't worry about the specific gold amounts, guys. That's actually like I see very few pros, high level players focus on like specific gold backs. They really are just trying to play the map and asking like questions about themselves, like what makes best with like what makes the most sense on the map, like with conditions. Should you force synergy? Blah 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 blah. Joe's champs. No. If you're not comfortable on that champ, let's say Sejuani is like your top 2, top 3. Yeah, play Sej. Sure. Let's say your top 3 is like Jarvan, Sej, Wukong. Yeah, probably play Sej. But if it's not, don't. Play what makes sense for you. And the only argument is if your team is full AD. But if your team is full AD, that normally means you're just gonna lose anyway. Like you going like honestly, it's just a coin flip. All the 80 mid mains and the hard like 80 top players, like pretty much I'm saying just dodge. You can dodge. Feel free to dodge. If you don't have an AP champion, that's okay. That's what I did when I was climbing. I didn't have an AP champ to play when I was climbing Challenger, so I would just dodge. All right, you guys can keep asking questions. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and then we'll look at some of some of the VODs you guys sent me, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, I'll be right back.
So, how's everyone else here doing?
Pretty good. I like hearing Perry talk.
I just want to let everybody know that taxation is theft.
You know,
That's so true.
Oh, Runeweaver, you're the guy who took my side when I was talking about the color of ginger ale, right?
That's true. Yes.
Yes,
I still can't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
You guys know that stuff is not
There's no
clear.
way it's brown.
That's what
crazy.
I'm saying, dude. There's no way. It's a psyop. That's what I think.
It's a
I think-
psyop.
Yeah, it's probably China trying to make me think I'm crazy so I don't blow them up.
What am I listening to? What the fuck?
No, I'm sane.
What the hell? Most sanely clear.
True.
Bro, am I still in the Illuminate server? I don't think I am.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm not anymore.
You left.
You left?
Yeah.
For what?
Damn.
Oh.
I see how it is. Nah, it's fine.
No, I just have
it's
a
been pretty
hard time.
stagnant.
Yeah, I just have a hard time doing stuff if the server doesn't feel very alive.
Yeah. Join it when it's alive. All good.
Relume is the only server I've noticed where there's always like 10 people in VC, but no one ever types in the Discord.
It's like the opposite. Most
There
servers
you
have
did
people chatting.
I feel like I almost never see chat. Well, I mainly just look at Jungle channel, and there's like one message a month in there.
Yeah, that's probably an dating Discord, bro.
Not far from it.
Hi, Perry. Welcome back. We had a really
Welcome
fun
back.
conversation about China.
Okay.
Yeah, I got.
Okay. As long. Oh shit.
Is just because I think that it's a ginger ale psyop.
Oh no,
You know, don't worry about it.
Alright, as long as you guys had fun, then I guess. Alright.
This Echo player should play Graves. I loved playing Graves when I played Echo.
Yeah, Graves is fun. Graves is fun. I don't like range traps though, so.
Yeah, that's because you're. Never mind, I won't say.
Alright, nice.
In game.
Mr. Very Sir, how do I know when attack minions while pushing after a gank or not? I play Rengar and Mastery if his answer helps. It depends on the situation, but normally if your laner has low conditions and they need to recall, that's one for sure reason you would help. If they have like a bad wave, and they don't have good wave clear, you can help them.
What elo is this guy in? What elo are you asking to push waves in?
Bro, this guy's like a challenger player.
Really?
Yes, Munchie is a challenger. Munchie, you're.
It's not
Really?
the best. It's 1500 OP player.
Wait, I didn't mean like when to push waves. I meant like when I'm
Oh,
pushing the
eat-
wave with my laner. When do I eat the wave, or when do I and when do I just leave it at 1 HP for my laner?
Just leave like 2 to 3 minions minimum to keep their mental intact. You know, like just try.
Everything
just,
you can.
just
It's
pretend.
just a mental game.
Just
It's just-
pretend
As
to
long
like
as they
care.
don't AFK take the wave. As long as they don't AFK.
Yes,
take
no,
it.
just pretend you care, but like you don't actually care. You know, like. And then afterwards, like let's say you take the whole wave, just like say my bad, like I didn't think it one shot, you know, like just be kind to your laners, but
Okay.
it literally doesn't matter, bro. Like if you carry the game as Rengar and Master Yi, you could eat up, but pretending you care really works. Maokai is on the tier list, yeah, it's not there, but I would put him like A plus for sure, or maybe A. But any thoughts on a second champ for Echo player? Second champ for an Echo player, Echo. He's a very unique champ. The thing is, his ult is very like. Cancer, like, sorry, but like his ult is like so OP because you can make a mistake and just ult and you'll be rewarded. Champion that's like similar, like unironically a similar champ to that is like Kane. you go in, you can maybe fuck up the fight, you hit R, and then you can just like still live. Kane one shots like Echo if you go Shadow Kane. Alternatively, no, I think Kane's a good champ. You asked for one champ, so if you want more, I'll think about it. But that's yeah, that is good. You AOE the yes. Um. All right. Okay, so we're gonna look at someone's game. That's right. We're looking at someone's game, not my game. All right. All right. Is my friend here?
Yep.
Pelza. All right. Cool. All right. So we start off with the fundamentals. Like we asked yourself some questions. So we have that's a zero mid, Orn top. We have Silas into Orn, Fizz with Ignite into Azir. So pretty much right now I'm asking myself like who has prio in which lanes and what are the like conditions of each lane. So for me that is like ignites versus teleports, like summoner spells like runes. So after I ask myself who has prio, like Azir has prio into Fizz, I ask myself who wants to fight, who has kill threat, who has the chance to like kill the enemy. And Fizz has ignite, so he for sure wants to kill Azir. So I just keep that in the back of my head. That's not a main thing to focus on, but that's something I could build my next plan based off of. For example, if I ask myself in game, what do I want to play for next? And I realized, hey, if my Fizz is level 6, and he has Ignite, he has Flash, I can keep that in the back of my head, and it'll just like reinforce my plan. Pretty much that's what you should do every single game. Every time you come into a game, you just ask yourself, like, okay, what are the prios? Who has priority? Ornn to Silas. I would probably give it to Silas. Fights for it. Ornn could probably do it if he prioritizes the wave. Fizz into Azir, Kai'Sa, Ezreal, Pyke, Rakan. Ezreal and Rakan are much weaker. Kai'Sa also has Hail of Blades. So in my head, when I play it at like 3 minutes, 4 minutes in the game, the Sylas should have shove, Azir should have shove into me, and the Kai'Sa and Pyke should have shove. That's right. So I asked myself, which lane do I want to path to, right? And you're playing against Kha'Zix as Hecarim. So let's say they're bot and mid have prio, and they fucking invade you. You actually can't do anything, right? Because Hugo here, his support will move, AD can move, and mid can move, right? So we'll talk about a really quick early game thing. Your third wave crash, let's say the perfect 3-wave crash, is by the time you're already done with your third camp, and you're already like waiting here. Is the timer where you're crashing the third wave. So your mid laner and bot lane will have to catch a ginormous wave, and they can move. The enemy mid and bot can move. So I am actually worried about pathing bot if I were you this game, because I could get invaded. Yeah, the Kha'Zix can invade you, and it won't look pretty. You also don't have flash. If Pyke comes, it'd be pretty unfortunate. Now, the argument is like, hey, I'm pathing to Ornn lane. Is that okay? Yes, because you're playing Hecarim. You're going to be carrying the game. And now the question is, okay, but now my weak side is down here, and my strong side is up here. That's fine. You clear your weak side. You full clear in this case because there's no real play up here, right? It's Ornn, and then you recall right away, and you have 30 seconds to a minute to go bot, right? So you're not making a play on your quote unquote strong side, but you're transitioning your strong side to here, and this is your weak side, and this is your weak side. So you actually like you want to clear everything at all points, and you're going down to your strong side down here, right? Because you do want to help bot lane a bit, I guess. Even then, like honestly, you don't even need to. Like these guys are gonna be okay.
So if you go for the crab there, you waste all of your 30 seconds, right?
In the top side? Yeah.
Yeah, if you go for top side crab there, you waste all of your time, right?
Exactly. You waste all your tempo. So instead of having an insane tempo advantage, you gained 60 gold and some EXP, sure. But yeah, you would recall after your first full clear and just bolt it to bot lane. And ironically, with how fast you cleared this game especially, you could make it to bot lane at 3, like, it'll be like 3:35. But you like finished your clear downwards you finished a bit late actually. 3:11. So the recall 3:11, then it's 3:18, right? 7 seconds, maybe 8 seconds, and then it takes 20 seconds to walk, so 3:39, right? You'd end up here or here at 3:39, right? So Kha'Zix against bot, and you're there with items. He's fucked. But yeah. So you recall here anyway, and now you're clearing your weak side to your strong side. You see top fighting like crazy. So right here, two things. Crab is up, right? I'm not sure if you know that Kha'Zix's path down. If you saw Kha'Zix play for both crabs, it makes sense what you're doing. Otherwise, you want to at least like gather intel to see what's going on. So what I would do is I would hit this plant that you're about to walk on. I would hit this plant and check the river. I would probably send it like this. Another thing is you don't want to switch to sweeper until 15 minutes. That's like the golden rule I'm learning nowadays. With this concept of ganks are bad, just in general, sweeping is very useless because there's actually not many wards to clear in general because the support often goes sweeper as well. So you only have the ADCs, enemy ADCs wards to clear, or the enemy mid laners wards to clear, assuming we're not interacting with top lane. And the enemy jungler also goes sweeper. So if you have your wards, you just get more information. Once you're past 15-minute mark, or even around then, like let's say the enemy support completes their support item, and you have sweeper, sweeper becomes much more valuable. So that's how I would think about sweeper. But anyway, so this top play is something that I'm not a fan of because realistically, there's like especially at this point, there's literally nothing you'll get from this. Like you can wait here for 1 second. The moment this guy's going like this, he's going to die. So
If he lane gank,
sorry, what happened? You cut
if
out.
he lane ganks, so Kha'Zix walks here, right?
Yeah, but there's a wave here.
I know, but I'm saying, what if he lane game comes behind his blue Silas, right?
As Kha'Zix?
No, as Hecarim.
But how does he go through the lane here? Also, it could be warded. Right, when a lane gank, you normally walk like this, right? But there's a wave there. So if anything,
Wait,
what I would do.
Wait. So there's red minion. Oh, what the?
If anything, what I would do is I would actually go catch
God.
that. Right, I'd actually go catch this wave. If I'm actually fully optimizing this,
That's a
and then I'd go
wave.
back to Crux, because this guy's like this is fucked up. Whatever your size is doing, like he's actually mental. So you should go catch the top. Anyway, at this point, this is good. You don't fight him. You don't want to. Yeah, so again, you're getting mind control. Just clear your grump. This guy is not gonna be having a good time no matter what here. So yeah, you need to instantly make the judgment that hey, like this is bad. Like I could look at this for 1 second and I know this guy's fucking inting. It's not your job to save anyone. That's not your job as the jungler. Go sit on top of your grump after you hit the scryers and wait on your grump and clear your grump. So it's like that's like 10 seconds probably wasted time. You could have been on your grump. Yeah, it's like 10 seconds wasted time. Go Herald lane. This is good. Bot wave is crashing. This is good. Pike. There's a high chance that they'll fight. They don't recall. Good. All this is pretty good. You see that they're playing like this, so you stay. I like this. Okay, you show pretty early. So again, the reason why this position is really good is because you have the element of surprise in your position, right? These guys are going to go in. There's no reason for them not to go in very deep, and these guys are full HP. And you also committed about 30 seconds so far to this play. 555. Like instead of recalling here and going straight to your top side, you committed 30 seconds to this. Ouch, right? But you want to get something from it. I hope so, right? So the moment this guy shows, it's like oh my god, it's actually so good. He's actually so good. He shows yes, our 30 seconds of waiting is actually so valuable, because this guy's playing like this. But if you show like this, it doesn't matter anymore because it's actually just leave. Pike will just eat away. Bye bye. So imagine another world where these guys got their crash in because their wave is bad, and you fully channeled your recall. You pinged your teammates away. They also could have recalled, and you could just play a normal game, right? But what you did again, it's not bad. It's just the way you executed it was very bad. And you also channeled your E like this. So one thing you'll see, just one thing to do in general is like always hold your abilities, like unless you're 100% going to use it. And in my head, there's no way ever I'm going to be Eing like this, right? Like I'm going to end up here if I E this guy. So you lose your E here. So now for the actual fight, you're like, bro, I'm so pissed here. You actually can probably shit on them here too, cause like they're fighting in a wave as well. So yeah, you not having E here is really depressing. Pretty decent call though, just to leave. So the moment someone's pinging you like this, I'd mute them. I'd obviously have like honestly chat off, mute all at the start, but um, it's all good. Now, oh, it begins. It begins. It's okay. It begins. But okay, so we go to our camps. This is fine. Use smite on your Krugs. So I would save a smite charge here, like no matter what, because you're not gonna have smite for either dragon or herald now. Let's say they go to dragon or they go to herald. You want a smite charge for dragon, right? You don't want someone to steal it randomly. But now you don't have the smite charge for either.
Look like a definite angle this game.
Cool. So here you make the judgment after your fizz dies that hey, I could probably kill them here, but look at what you're playing for. So you need to identify that this wave is what you're playing for because these guys want to clear that wave, right? That's the reason why you're able to hover here. Not because you can kill anyone right now. You can't kill anyone right now, right? Because they could just leave, but they're going to be really hard focusing on the wave they're clearing right now. So that's why you being in this position is pretty good. I think we'll play too. Pretty sad. Nice play for kill 2. Take the wave, go bot camps, perfect. Okay, all's cool. Orkan had a really good position for you here. It's nice. It's a bit nitpicky, but one thing is like your E again. You either have to use it right away or just save it. I think you just squad wiped though, maybe not. Spacing is a bit off here. Obviously, your auto there was bad. Yeah, your auto is really bad here.
Is there any chance that you can get the kills mid without using the ult? Do you think that that's possible? And then using it here, like,
No.
like what you're saying, when you need to use your abilities when you absolutely need them, like using the unstoppable to stop CC, for example. Like the Pyke used the E, and then like he had it only at the end there.
I think no. I think it's fine to play it this way to secure it. I think the one thing that I'm worried about is if their Pyke has E, like earlier, because you kind of wasted a lot of time here deciding if this was a good or bad play. So that's one thing I'm worried about. But the ult thing is not. I don't think it's that important.
Yeah, I think
I
if I want,
I would agree with my R. Yeah, I would agree with my R.
Yeah, I mean you're playing for the kill though, right? So you should just use your ult for the kill.
Yeah, I think if I want to save all here, I just wouldn't even go for this play because it's not realistic.
Yeah.
If you want to go in to go a lot earlier though, because like you effectively waited until all your Q stacks fell off before you went in.
Wait, let's see.
Yeah, I think I kind of wasn't sure about it.
Yeah, if you went right here, you ghost at them right here. Actually, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that idea too. Because
so it's kind of like he kind of went halfway, right? He kind of went halfway on this decision.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think there was any decision making here. It was like purely reactive. There was no planning. Realistically, because I mean, for what I watched, right? I haven't seen you look mid like a single time here. So you're gathering like no intel. So you actually like don't know what's going on to your like in any lane really. So you're pathing bot, you don't know what's going on with bot wave. You're looking top. Well, I mean, you're like you're barely looking mid like for half a second every time. If you can get that much information, I couldn't. Like, you're fucking the goat then. I don't know. But there's not much info I got from what I saw mid. Okay. Anyway, so the bot stuff is all good. It's all fine. You have item here. So here's where I want to be playing for objectives on the map. Then we have a sweep. We clear the sword. Sure thing. We fight this guy. We have item. I like. He has jump. He did what? He jumped that way. I guess he's trying to dodge the fizz R. I don't know. Okay, whatever. So you kill him, and then what happens? Oh, you don't kill him because he's champion's OP, and you die. Okay, so the way to look at this is what are you playing for here? Why are you in the top side here?
For Rift.
Right. So let's say there is a rift fight and you don't have ult. Is it going to be good?
No.
Yeah. Right. So like that's a fucked up question. But like after you clear this ward and you see this Kha'Zix do this, he's full HP. Right. When you spot him like this, he's full HP. He's not low at all. Right. I think it's just generally hard to kill this guy, and even if you kill him and you expend both Fizz R and your ult, you can't do Rift Herald anymore. So what I would have done is I would have W, Q, like auto, right, and chunk, that'll probably hurt him a lot. And afterwards, like, I would be chunked, he'll be chunked. Realistically, this Herald is actually not your play. Because I think Rakan's bot and Pyke is missing, they have numbers advantage here. Right, so reading into the actual map, they could have Pyke here, right? It's hard to see that. But the biggest and most important thing in this position right here is you need your ultimate for the actual fight. Right now, this is not the actual fight, right? Like this is just this guy is like has position advantage, and unless you need an ult to live, there's no reason to ult. If you're playing like Malphite Yasuo here and you're Malphite face checking this guy and he's there, and you could 100% kill him using your tools, use your tools. But I think it's very, very, very hard to kill him. Like even after what you did here, you just left because I think he actually already channeled ult. Oh no, he reacted to you. But the idea is like it's actually very likely if you channeled your E and you went at him just normally, he would have to ult. He would have to E away, like ult, maybe ult, probably not, but just E away, and it just you have your ult for the actual fight. But the biggest thing here is like, why Herald?
You're saying because you noticed that the enemy support was missing, right?
Well, there's just in general, like why Herald here? Why Herald? Why Herald? What do you think?
I was thinking is how is just TP'd. He spent all his gold, and he's pretty. I think he was pretty strong here, so we could try and fight it. And I was also really strong because I got my mythic purchase.
Cool. So the moment you see this, there's one thing I haven't seen you do. Oh, you hold tap here. Cool. Yeah. So cool. So you identify that your status is strong. Yeah, this is good. And your ball is weak. Okay, I like this. So you're actually actively gathering intel. It shows. To help you make your decision. So yes, I like the idea of pulling Herald, and what you say makes sense. But there's two things here. One, prios. This Ornn has prio right now, right? Because Silas needs to TP back. And two, your ball is actually hard winning, and yes, Pyke is missing. Additionally, you're actually not that much stronger than Kha'Zix as it stands right now. You have an item, but you're actually not that much stronger than him. No? What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, I think maybe barely I might win the 1v1, but it's probably very, very close.
Yeah. If anything, I think the Kha'Zix is more useful in the actual fight. So let's say Pyke is not even here, and you're 3v3 up top. Ornn, Kha'Zix, Azir. I'm not fighting that, bro. Fuck off. Like, I am not fighting that shit. When I'm playing Eclipse Hecarim, who's trying to one-shot, like, their backline, I can't go through the Ornn. The Kha'Zix will one-shot me as I'm ulting through. The Azir can just ult me away. I actually don't see a good way of winning that fight. It's going to be very difficult. And even if you kill the Azir, the Kha'Zix will wipe, I think, with Ornn. So, it's just like a very hard fight in the Herald. But you collected information that made sense in your head, and that's good. Now, it's time to process that even further. So just because you have an item advantage, does the item advantage actually do anything? Just because Silas TP back, does it actually do anything? What's even more hard about Herald is the people who are pulling Herald have insane positional disadvantage. Insane positional disadvantage. So they're already winning, right, by their champions. Their items not so much, but their champions. So if you're on the Herald and they come second and the Ornn's like ulting you and whatever was going on, like you're not gonna have a good time, honestly. But if you're on your wolves, right, and then you see them pull it, you ask Silas to ward, you ping it, you ping ward, please ward, you ping hold, whatever it is, and you see them pulling it, you have two options now. You can go dive their ball in, you can go do dragon, or you can contest Herald second. And all of them are fine, realistically. I feel like it's just up to you to make the better decision. But I like the idea of you pulling Herald. That makes sense. It's just you need to think even further. You need to critically think even further. Is this actually a good play? And then obviously ulting before the actual fight, not great, unless it's 100% secured kill.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I forgot about how, like, as you said, the positional advantage for the team starting Herald is awful because they know exactly where you are,
Yeah,
and
they
then
know
you're also like
everything.
grouped up, so Ornar just one shots you.
Ornar, Zirar, yeah. And you can't even kill them. That's the worst part. Like, Azir probably has flash, or he probably has ult. Kha'Zix is like unkillable. Like, who are you actually killing in the fight? Like, it just doesn't seem winning.
Yeah.
Cool. So again, what I feel like is going on here is their Kha'Zix. Well, I guess he was low, but he didn't do Herald, right? Yeah, he hasn't done Herald. What I would do if I were you is Hecarim is very ult reliant, from what my understanding. Is literally just either recall by another longsword or run straight to Krugs and stay on the map. And whatever objective they're doing in this position, I'm doing the other one, or I'm fighting second. I'm not fighting first. I'm not forcing the play first. This is what I call playing like aggressively, playing active. It's like an active map state, but realistically, it's not. Like not really. Items are down bot lane. Items are, I mean, like you're down a little bit, pretty even. Items mid aren't great, but you know, Fizz is no R. It'll be coming up, but Fizz is no ignite, no flash. Like Azir's looking pretty strong. He might come back off map with item. That's why he's not showing. Your ult's not up. Like conditions are actually not great. Kha'Zix probably has item as well. So there's no need to be active in this map state because you're fine farming, you're fine scaling, like you're fine finding a better opportunity later. There's no need to force anything because um, the only person making it an active map state is you, and you don't want that right now because you have no R. So right at this point, okay, and then another thing right here, right? So this entire time, when you're walking through mid, so we talked about fog earlier, right? Look at your pathing. This minion does not see you if you go like this.
True.
Right. So
Yeah.
and then look at what you do again. So you walk through like this, and then you walk up. You're like, oh, maybe I should dodge it. Oh fuck. And you walk back like just on the vision. If you did this, you would have been a genius, right? Because they think fully that you're walking straight to top and you walk back around. They actually don't know that you're coming back to the bot side. But this way, they see you visibly. That's why Kha'Zix instantly leaves. Obviously, the problem with this map state again is they're crashing waves. That's 0 at least, and your Fizz is just like dropping a wave. So you'll get this dragon maybe, not really though, because the Kai'Sa is also crashing a wave. So they have wave advantage as well. So this is good, not to pull anything. Leave, go do camps. Sure, this is a 3v2. This looks good. I think I like your target selection. I think, should maybe not. I said maybe your target selection was good, but then never mind. Fizz just used everything to live, right? He just used probably all of his abilities. Probably eat on top of he eat there, I think, and then he has like no tools. So just kill the guy that is more free. I think maybe you thought you can one shot this guy, but nah, just kill the Azir. Make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it was really close because I definitely did think I could have bursted the Kha'Zix, but if I go for Azir, I could also save my Fizz then.
Yeah,
and
you
that'd
save
be
you
even
save
better.
your Fizz, but additionally, like the thing is, this guy has all of his tools. Like it's very likely this guy used his abilities to get Fizz in this position. You know, to get it in a 0 like this, like it's just it makes more sense to go for the guy that is less likely to have tools. To
Oh
escape.
yeah, I just thought he was dead no matter what, because as you said, he already used everything, so I thought I could get 2 for 0 there.
Yeah. No, that's fair
Or 2
enough.
for 1.
But yeah. So that's where you fall into like trying to get too much, I guess. Like it's okay to just take the one kill. It's chill. It's chill. So even this, like I talked about 1-for-1ing earlier, like this is so bad, right? Go do your tire top side. Go do Herald. Go do Dragon. Probably not this or this because this is very far. Bot crab is up and Herald doesn't matter because plays are about to fall. So I'm probably just going bot side, but this is like very very bad dying like this.
This guy is playing tank Kha'Zix, bro.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a good build. This game especially, but
Is that meta now?
I mean, it's just good into like a bunch of melee champs. So
It just depends on enemy comp.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't play
So-
this game anymore, so.
Okay, so you're going straight to bot crab. Mid's just fighting like crazy. You're playing Hecarim and you have 6 camps up, right? It feels pretty awkward because now you don't
Yeah.
want to do either objective, or if you do, you still have all your camps up. It just feels pretty shit, right? You came from base, and you got a crab, which is good. You can go back to your camps here now. You see Fizz fighting. Sure, this is fine. So the moment this happens, this is good. You let your teammate live, and then whatever's going on here is like, it could be going bad. I'm glad you didn't kill yourself here. Hop in your mid shove, sure. Then leave and just go to your camps. Like, there's so much waste of time. What's going on here? Just go to your camps. Right? So, like, this is what I call wasted time, and a lot of players have this problem, but, like, just seriously make a decision that doesn't involve trying to kill the enemy, and doesn't involve forcing anything, and just, like, commit to it. So if you, like, wanted to do the dragon here, then go. Do the dragon. Go. Go. The moment you did this, you're doing dragon. Right? But you can't, like, be in between, like, all around, like, I'm not actually sure if it's good or bad. Right? It doesn't matter if this is warded. If you think it's a good dragon fight, then go do the dragon. But obviously it isn't. Your Fizz is half HP. These years are to come up map. He probably has TP too. Like, you don't have ult. Like, it's probably not a good fight. So go straight to your camps. Right? The hardest thing to do is to always be in between as to what is a good or bad play. And you're in your head deciding, oh, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, I don't know. Just commit to one and look at it after, and like you can like decide if it was good or bad. So like this, for example, like is this dragon pull good? While Fizz has no prio, and he's stuck in lane. So after he does the crab, he can come help, sure. Same thing. The reason why dragon's easier to take is because you can pull the dragon out right here, and it gives you less position disadvantage because you can like fight in the river. It's just like a river fight. But yeah, so always pull the dragon out here. Sure, you think this is a good fight? Fizz has flank. Rakan's going in. You all think this is good. I like it. I like what I see. I think your ult usage is a bit poor here. Because okay, so right here, your Rakan is committing everything. This guy's like pretty much one shot. But the moment these guys are in this position, there's 4 people right here, right? Or there's 3, I guess, because this guy wants to go forward too. So I would go at that Azir right here, not down, right? Because if you go down, then you have like a fight right here and a fight right here. Just fight with your teammates. It looks like based on the last 2 fights, you're not fighting with your team. Just fight with your team. It's very, very easy. Like, it's even right now, if you went and you killed this guy at least, these guys can now kite up to you, and the fight looks a little bit better.
Yeah, I really split the fight here to like 2,
Yeah.
so it made it messy.
Made it messy, yeah. But the idea is pretty good, I think. Again, you're kind of dropping a lot of camps. Nice. You hit no for the surrender vote. Good job. I'm serious. So here again, like, are we trying to stop them from the Herald? Are we trying to do the Herald? Like, we have no ult. We have all of our camps up. What's going on? Oh, look at you. Oh, what's going on?
I think he's talking to his chat about Yorl.
Oh, holy shit, what's going on?
What's happening?
Right, so this is probably why you're either getting holy fuck, right? Like when you look at it, it's actually insane, no? Look at this.
Yeah.
So 17 minutes, you could just be clearing all your camps, right? Let's look at what the next time you touch your camps. Oh no, not yet. Okay, just a minute. Just a minute has gone by. It's not like you could have full cleared everything in like 40 seconds, like because you have items already. Like camps take
True.
0 seconds now. Like literally. Okay, let's look. You started this at 18:05. You finished at looks like 18:15 probably. Yeah, like 10 seconds. Like every camp was like 10 seconds, and you had 4 camps up, taking 40 seconds. Your champ is so fast as well, and you also have your smite completed, so you'll be so fast. But look at that. 1 whole minute, just like, oh yeah, like, this is really good, guys. I don't have ult, but I'm here. Like, you're getting baited by your teammates. Like, you're getting baited by trying to do something on the map when you don't have to, especially. And you're trying, like, too hard. Like, your champ is not good to drop camps. You don't want to drop camps. Anyway, so, literally, you got nothing, and then you're back to farming. So... yeah. Anyway, at this point in the game, I actually skipped through this in the actual like little mini class, but mid game, right? So at this point it's mid game. It's no longer about early game jungling. So the thing is, you hold tab, you pick a laner, you pick who's strong, and you path towards the strong guy. And you don't forget that camps are still very, very valuable. So farm at least 2 camps before you go on and do anything psychotic. But prioritize objectives and play with the person that's fed on your team. And if there's no one and it's just you, then just keep farming. If there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do. Just keep farming, bro. It's fine. But in this case, it is Silas, I think. Maybe Fizz a little bit. You're not happy with Ezreal because he's angry at you earlier, I guess. Or did he take a camp or something? I don't know. Anyway, that's obviously not a good sign. But yeah, so refrain from doing that. But anyway, when you hold tab,
let him know. Let him know.
no, man, don't let him know. Focus on what's next. So right here, so Ezreal is actually probably doing the best here. Look at his stats. Like his CS is good. This is good. So you have to go through the mental hoops and you want to win, play with this guy because he's gonna be these two are gonna be your best friends. Okay, that's general mid.
I think I used to be like the opposite of this type of gameplay where I would be like hyper prioritizing like getting my camps off killed on respawn instead of like spending these time on objectives. But then what I would notice is I would be super strong like 80, 90, 100 CS at 10 minutes, right, or like 10 CS a minute. But then I could just never enter the river because we have no vision at all. So that even I could be super strong, all my camps would be done, but I just can't do anything. So we'd give every objective. So I tried trying to adapt more to try and set up more vision on river for objectives with my team, as you saw in this. But that also hasn't given me much results either.
Yeah, so it could be like a series of unfortunate events. Like your teammates could be inting in this game. Like your mid's not doing great. Your botling died a bit. But the answer to that is like if it's an objective that you come second to and they have full setup and there's no vision, what that probably means is like in a good world that means that you're able to take his camps elsewhere, right? So like let's say like he's like really wants this Herald and he has all this set up, you clear your top side and then bolt it to his bot side and you can play for bot turret. Like there's always going to be another objective to play for. Let's say they're playing for this dragon and your Ezreal wants to play for top turret, go play for top turret, right? Like it's okay to give objectives. And don't feel forced to fight everything. And like you said, if there's no control, just be okay with there being no control for one turn. The next turn, hopefully things change. If it doesn't, again, lose in peace. Lose in peace where you're at least playing a good game of League of Legends and you're not getting mind controlled and dying a bunch. I'd rather go a few kills, a few assists, really good CS, and playing team fights decently, human, and lose than me monkey fighting perma, me skipping all my camps to try and win the game, and losing that way. Lose in peace is the best way to answer that.
I mean, I think I used to lose in. Oh man, I'm probably biased from because it's talking about my own gameplay. But I feel like I used to lose in peace like that, but I would just keep on losing.
Yeah,
so then I try to I wouldn't full commit skip every single camp and perma play for every objective. Like you said, I do give up some, but if I felt like I couldn't find the right balance.
Right. So I think what the problem is, based off what I saw, is you need to execute. And in your team fights, you're not executing. It doesn't matter how fed you are if you play team fights how you're playing. I hate to say it, but that's why you're probably losing. You're in a good position to carry. I emphasized in were you there earlier when I showed you that Viego game where I was 1-7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that game, I played fights very bad, and I was fucking 8 CS a minute, 9 CS a minute, but I played fights bad, so I couldn't carry the game. I wasn't able to win. Eventually my teammates clutched up though, but that's why you're probably losing or suffering when you're so strong in a game. When you have 8 CS or 9 CS a minute, you're doing good. You're doing something good. But it comes to execution in fights, and when you're fighting, it's gonna be hard to win. Not seeing the angle to instantly ult to kill these guys, and even if Azir has to flash or blow ult, to not see this instantly is really hard to win a team fight. I'm sure it gets worse as it goes on.
Do you think Kaisa or Azir is the primary carry? Because Azir does loads of damage, so
they're both they're both enemy carries. There's not one.
what?
Well, they both are. They're both
So
characters.
so in your head, which one do you target first?
Whichever was better
Like
for the position of the
if
fight.
they're
There's
so
no
let's say
like.
they're in an equal position, equidistant from you. Which one would you place at like a higher priority?
Well, I'd wait for them to make a mistake because if they're both playing an equal good position, neither of them are in a position for me to kill them. Right? If everyone's playing the team fight perfectly, realistically, especially in high elo games, neither team can do anything because the first team that goes in first will lose unless unless someone makes a mistake, right? Unless someone fucks up the engage, dodges an ability, flashes perfectly, like perfect reaction. But like the first team that goes in first, like your abilities are gonna get flashed, your abilities are gonna get juked. Like so again, it really comes down to the position of the enemies, right? And for them to make a mistake, that's when I would go and decide who's better to go for. It's not everyone will play perfectly. Like that Kaisa just ulted literally ghosts, I think. Or yeah, she was never getting hit by that Everfrost. So here, you're going for the Azir in this fight. No one is going for the Azir with you. Fizz just ulted this up here. Go up. Not 1v1ing this guy. Go up. Fight the Ornn. Fight with your team here, right? You keep going for these targets by yourself. And whether you win this or not, like look at how much look at all the work Fizz did up here. If you were fighting with him up here, it wouldn't be even close. This Azir's not gonna do shit to you guys in the actual fight, in the actual scheme of things.
Yeah, you're right. It's like the same mistake as last team fight. I'm trying to split the team fight into two.
Yeah, and it's actually like I used to play like this too. It's something I learned while playing competitive, but like it's easier to just take the easy ways to win the fight. Like there's no need to overcomplicate it. If your entire team, let me go back to the fight. If your entire team, I don't know where it is, man. Fuck. If your entire team was focusing the Kha'Zix guy and whatever, and you guys like lost the fight, then you lose the fight. Like there's no need to overcomplicate it. Like that's just a lot about this game. Like if you it's right here. Azir doesn't have halt, bro. Like he's so useless. So I don't even know why you're going for him at all. He doesn't have Q or E right here too. He's so useless in this fight. So if you guys did this and fully committed and you still lost the fight, then you would have lost the fight anyway. That means that you isolating this guy does nothing. I think you having impact here is way more valuable when Kai'Sa just ulted in your face and your Fizz landed a fucking juicy ult as well.
True. Like you get like 3-man AoE Qs there.
Yes,
And
you get
the
so
Fizz
many.
knocked up.
And the Fizz ult. Yes. So I think go back to playing how you were playing. Understand that you're not playing these fights that well, and you're really wasting a lot of time with this way you're playing anyway. So that's like my best advice to you. Otherwise, I think like the process is kind of there. Like I can see you thinking, I can see you making decisions. You just need to be very clean about it and think further. For that Herald, for example, right, you need to think even more advanced. Like what it means for you to pull a Herald first, what it means to be against the Ornn, even if he's down item, even if Kha'Zix is down item, what it means to actually like fight them head on 3v3. And then other thing is like, yeah, team fighting, obviously, team fighting needs work, and your pathing in like level 1 pathing was pretty scary, I would say. Am I missing anything? Oh, yeah, forcing objectives. You just like mindlessly trying to force objectives when you have 5-6 camps on the map. Again, clear your weak side and then go play for the objective. So for example, let's bring ourselves back a little bit. Let's bring ourselves back in time. So for example, if you wanted to play for this dragon, you would clear your top side first and then go down, right? That you clear your weak side and then you go play for dragon, right? So with that concept, it makes things a lot easier. There's a crab here, so it's understandable to do this crab first, but like, yeah, I guess crab kind of equalizes it. Crab plus dragon, but just in general, like let's say there's no crab, you're trying to play for dragon, you do your top side, right? You're trying to play for Herald, you do your bot side. I just feel like there's a lot of like monkeying around, like running around, trying to help your team. When there's nothing you can do, and then you're going to the wrong side of the map. You're clearing the wrong side of the map. Like if you wanted to clear this dragon, do the bot crab, run to top side, and then run back to bot side. Otherwise, Kha'Zix can invade all of this, do this Herald, and he's like up like so much in the game.
True.
Okay, cool. All right. Any questions about this?
No,
Any
you explained it
thoughts?
pretty well.
Cool. And in late game, it's just all team fighting, right? I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah.
Getting a few
Probably
camps, like,
just
sorry, go ahead.
probably just the same as other team fight mistakes, where I just need to play a group with my team and focus the same targets.
Yeah. I'd say it's very likely that it's happening. Let's look at a one more team fight. But then just in general, like for camps, just farm camps when you're close to item. Farm your weak side and then still playing the strong side. Invading is where I would like to invade. I would like to see a lot more invades later on in the game. But earlier in the game, it's like less important.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at this team fight. Okay, let's look at this team fight. So you guys just fucking left Ezreal. I mean, he was dead, but you guys would kill Kha'Zix together if you guys didn't do this. Okay, so let's look. So here you E. What did you E? You E'd right here, like right away. You also W. Wait, did you W Ghosts? Oh, yeah, you W'd here. So you should never W like for this, right? You're full HP. You're not losing any HP, so you don't have W for the start of the fight, right? And then you E at the start when the fight hasn't even begun. Right? I mean, it's like okay because yes, like the fight will happen, but like let's say like they walk back a little bit and you don't have E now for 10 seconds, it's pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Even here, so I would E this guy and I would ult backwards, right? That's how I would play this. But right here, the moment this happens, the fight is won. Kill this Ornn with your teammates and everything looks a lot prettier. Or if you really want to kill this Azir, just ult this guy right away. You take a long time to kill that Azir. But either is fine. They just gotta like you were put in the right position by the Azir, thankfully. But like yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't know, I probably would have done the same thing as last team play,
Yeah,
where I
and
just
hunt
chased
this
the Azir
guy.
again.
Just hunt this guy, yes, and it's not good to do that. It's very bad. It's very inconsistent because then you leave the rest of the fight to your teammates. You put the team fight to 1v1, and then the rest of the team is just like 4v4. Like you want to have impact in the actual team fight.
Right. Yeah. I'm removing myself from impacting the team fight.
Yeah, you're removing yourself. Yeah, exactly.
I've never chasing like that.
You never what?
I've never thought about chasing like that. About as soon as you chase, you turn it into a 1v1 and then a 4v4, and you typically don't trust your teammates to win a 4v4,
Yeah,
right?
right. Like if you're muting all and you're ignoring your team in
Yeah.
the first place, like don't isolate yourself in the fight. Be in the fight. But this is okay. The rest of the game is probably just nothing. Oh, it's really good. Okay. Oh, we have some other stuff to look at. So we'll go through this, and then at 8:30 I have stuff to do. So we'll look at this game really quick. So we have red start. Wait, no we don't. 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 We have not a red start. We have a red start invade, and I don't know what their champs are. And I can't go lower quality. Fuck. What are their champs? Rengar. Wait, Rengar top, Kindred, Ahri, Ashe, Zillion, Samira. So it's pretty linear, right? We have Samira, Zoe, bot. So fight mid bot, right? So that's instantly what I'm thinking about. So wait, what is this lane invade all about? Why are we lane invading top when we want to play mid bot, right? Let me see this. Oh, we have Yone top? No, that's Yone. Yeah, that's Yone mid. What is going on here, Shia? So we have Samir Zoe, right? It's like a fucked up bot lane pairing, but we want to play for them. We don't want to play for this, right? This doesn't matter. This guy's no flash, but it's fucking Rengar. He's gonna be really hard to kill. So just play with these guys, right? Full clear down and play a natural game. Like the problem with games I'm looking at like this is it's just not normal. Like this is just not a normal game. It's not reproducible. Jarvan late invading the fucking Kindred. When am I gonna see that ever again? Like no, you should try and reproduce games that make sense. So yeah, I don't know what all this is about. It's fine. You got the red buff though, huh? Just go W for shield, sure. That's close. It's fine. Okay, we do this. I'm scared. I'm scared. Your path there. This is very scary. Right, level 2. You can't do anything there. Don't go. Just go to your Krugs. There's one click. It's okay. Okay, it's okay. You didn't do it. Good for you. You're invading the Kindred again. So this is where I would say I don't mind invading because your millionaire has a full wave crashed. And if you're playing competitive as well, it seems you're playing trials or whatever. So if you're talking to your teammates, I think it's workable. But the thing is, like, if this guy lives and he cleared his blue buff and his Gromp already, like, you're playing for his wolves. Like, if this guy isn't, like, I don't know, like, if this guy isn't an AI, and he sees Yone walk like this, I'm sure he won't die. Right? He's literally an AI for dying to this, no? This guy walked on vision and everything, like, he doesn't care. He's just walking to his wolves like there's no problems on the map. So I think it's okay to look for it as long as you're aware that the reason why you're doing this is not for the kill, it's for this. Yes, you'll punish him like you did if he shows up, but the goal is this. Okay, we go crab into raptors into another gank. Oh my gosh. Okay. So mid died 1v1. That's the problem with invading as well, by the way. He lost a lot of conditions. Let's see how much conditions Yone lost. I mean, not too much. He actually ended up being okay. But sometimes invades end up being really bad. Yone just probably misplayed. That's fine. We walk towards mid. So this guy wants to recall here. But why? What happens if this guy recalls here? Huh? If he recalls here, are you getting anything from this? Absolutely not, right? I mean, I actually cannot explain why this guy's recalling here when he was right here. Like, he plus 52. He fogged right here, and he fucking chose to recall here. He chose to die, no? What the fuck is that, bro? I wish my fucking enemies could play like this. So, thank you for the kill. Good, we go to top side. We have 1500 gold, though. Oh, no. Oh, no, okay. Oh, no. Why are we here? What's the point? Right? So two things, right? You have 1500 gold, right? You can recall after this kill. You lucked out with a kill, which I probably would do, by the way. You could do two things here. You can kill this guy, run here, and then recall. So that covers your top side because you'll be recalling here. So no, they don't want to invade while you're there, obviously. Alternatively, or like the other thing is like when you're fucking like you're getting so much, you're doing so much, you're doing too much almost. And you're getting like decently rewarded, but like I don't know what all this like. This ward is good, sure. If you're staying on the map, sure. But you're doing all this hover and stuff. It's like a little bit too much. So just tone it down and like you're losing time on your camps. Because funny thing here is look at the top wave, right? It's slow pushing out, but it's not going to be until this wave, right? So let's actually picture it. Oh well, your guy fast pushed. But if you would have already cleared at least one, maybe almost done with this one, and you would be coming to this wave at around like the time he's trying to crash. So you would have cleared your camps and then still been able to come top, and help him. So it could have been even better. And then we're ganking again on 1800 gold.
Jeff Bezos ganking right here.
Yeah. And another thing about this play is I don't know why Yone is moving like this. He has a fucking cannon minion, or cannon wave here. So it's very, very like we're not really playing for anything here. Also, Rengar does not need to touch this wave. The only reason why I would do this gank is if Rengar needs to touch this wave. No, this wave is actually going back into him. These two melee minions are 1 HP. So no one needs to do anything here. They're a team. Kindred will probably int though, so you can punish him, sure. Alright, so early game has just been chaos, right? And we messed up our reset timer. Like, we missed many reset timers, in fact. We're looking for more blood, it seems. See, the thing is, like, okay, actually, clearing this ward here is only good because, one, you're Millionaire's Prio, but two, if you want to do Dragon. Otherwise, don't clear this ward. Go to your camps, and then clear the ward. Right? It's just the order of operations is very messed up. So this Yone just dropped the cannon wave to sit in a bush and pray that the Kindred comes and kills himself. Awesome.
This Yone has a gambling addiction.
Oh, and what are we doing here? Oh, we're here for the red buff. So, okay, so this works out. But Kindred can also just do this camp here, no? He can just let red buff reset and then do this camp. I mean, honestly, invading here is fine because you know every piece of information that you have. So I don't mind this, but like right here after you catch this cannon wave, I'm not walking top here because there's no way to confirm whether or not Yone like is going to like at this point I'm going to either Dragon, I'm going to my camps, Like this is just like completely flip. So all these plays just look flip, 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 flip. Flip a coin, pray it works. Flip a coin, pray it works. Going for the bot crab. Oh, we're fighting here. Let's flip a coin and pray we get some kills, guys. Cause Ari can just leave right now. No, she can literally just walk away. Oh, they want to fucking fight. Oh, yeah, let's fight, guys. No, really, we got the crab. We got the crab from the enemy jungler somehow, and we want to go in and fight. Really, right? Like, so this is just pure chaos. There's no way to explain this other than like there's too much randomness in this game. So you're indulging in the randomness, and it's hard to improve in general when you play like this. If you're focused on, are you typing in the chat room by the way, or the? Oh yeah, you are. Oh shit. No, this is ranked. You forgot to change that. Oh shit. So, oh shit, you're typing a little bit. This is ranked. Okay. Oh well, that's even more fucked up. But um, there's just so much randomness going on that you actually like are at 47 CS at 8 minutes. Like it's pretty depressing. You're not doing like a bad job. Like, again, like I feel like you're playing into these things pretty well. Your read is not bad, and you're making decisions that make sense and can punish the enemies. I will say though, it's just not a long-term thing. You could probably climb a bit. Like clearly, it's like doing not bad, right? And you're punishing them really well. The problem with this is once you get into like, did you send your OPG earlier? I don't know. I'll just search it up. Once you get to higher elos, you're going to end up not having as much fun. So you're Emerald 3, right? So once you get into like diamond range, really, this guy is Emerald, guys. Except he's Platinum 1, like really. I mean, really? Okay, that's actually crazy. I mean, really. Anyway, too much randomness going on in this game. There's like no fundamentals followed. There's just, oh, there's a fight top, fight mid, fight bot. I'm here. I'm running for it. And that's fine. You're playing a champ that's like that works with this playstyle. So that's another thing. Like, who was I talking to? Who was here earlier? The hack room earlier. Fuck. Pelza, yeah.
Pelsa, yeah.
Yeah. If you're playing a champ like Jarvan and you're playing like you were, Jarvan, Poppy, Sejuani, Trundle, and you play like you were, like it's more understandable because you don't need camps to be useful. But when you're playing champs that need camps like to be useful, like Hecarim, you need items. You can't do this. It just doesn't work. It's too random. Shin. Okay, let me see this, because that's Shin Senko. Okay, but I do have to head out here, guys. I'm keeping someone stalled. Damn, you're on that driving grind. Good for you. Yeah, look at these CS scores. Very, 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 very low. For the most part. Okay. If you guys have any questions, I am always willing to answer. Just anywhere in the chat, I will do my best to answer. But I gotta go. I'm actually gonna edit some content stuff. I'm gonna learn how to edit a bit.